Are you ready, kids? I said, are you ready, kids? Are you ready? No, please tell me my mic isn't broken again. Oh, there we go. I see someone. Yeah, there we go. Aye, aye, Captain. That's right. I can't hear you. No, I can hear you. I'm not gonna do the full bit. Welcome back to another Project Feline Devstream with your host. Someone wrote, I was just checking chat, someone wrote the funniest thing in here. Look, so I've been doing YouTube for a while, a bit of a while now, and I still don't really know what to call everyone. I was trying to think, like, I have subscribers, but I never call you by name. I just say guys. I say you're the guys. But someone here has suggested an indeed top-notch solution to that issue. He has greeted us all with, hello, fellow crispy cripplers. So, welcome, my fellow crispy cripplers. It is me, the King Cripple, I suppose. It reminds me of in school. I hated school, so my nickname in school, because I was always in a bad mood, was Raymond Crippling Depression. So, that's what I'll call you guys for the stream. So, let's show you how things are going. I'm just going to jump straight into it, because we got a bit of stuff to get through. So, UV mapping for Gabi's base mesh and hair is... Oh, there's one bit I forgot. I forgot this little bit. Oh, damn. Well, I had done everything else. We can come back to this bit later. I have room. We can fit that in. I have room for this somewhere. Ignore that for the moment, though. Let's just focus on this. So, I've packed all of these UV islands very, 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 very painstakingly. And that's taken some time. So, this is how the UV map is looking. We gotta add some textures to it now, which is what we're gonna do today. So you might be thinking, alright, well this is pretty tightly packed, but why is there this massive missing block over here? Well, that's for when we add a costume. Now, I still have yet to model I have the old model of the feline suit imported in the scene as a test. However, this is like very haphazardly... It doesn't really fit her anymore, let's just say. You can see that the bits of the armor are like clipping into each other when she's idle, and there's like not a lot of room for her ankles to move. Like it doesn't really fit her anymore. So I've been working on trying to design a new suit, something that'll like better fit this model, because this suit design kind of only really works with the old model. Like you can see her boots are like way too big now. And I really want to give her knee pads. So that's still... I'm going to get to that a bit later though, because I've been doing modeling for the last like 3 or 4 streams and it's getting a bit boring. So I want to move on to just texturing one bit of this model. And then in my own time, I'll come back to the suit, because I also want to simplify it a bit too, because now I've had to draw the suit like dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I have a sense now for what bits are annoying and what bits aren't. So I really want to like take out some things, keep the core of it. Like I want to keep the LED strips and stuff, but there's certain little details that I think kind of don't need Like, they're not, like, I could do without them, probably. So when I draw the suit sometimes, it's like the details I forget to add. It's like, well, hey, how about we just get rid of them? If I've drawn it so much and there's things I forget to add in, like these little circles or something, why not just get rid of them from the design and make room for things that would be a bit more, you know, things that would be a bit more substantial. So that we'll get to later, because that's just more modeling work. So we want to do something a bit different today. We're going to do texturing, because, you know, it's exciting, and I'm getting really bored of modeling. So with this UV island, with these UVs, we need to export these out into... I need to export the layout so that I know where everything's meant to go, and then we're going to texture it in Photoshop. This is how the texture's looking right now. It's just a blank document, and I've just done a bunch of folder setup. And I'll show you what those do in a bit. But for the moment, we need this UV layout in here. So I think all I need to do, if I remember, and if I do slow down a bit on things, I haven't done texturing in like a year. So yeah, I wear a lot of hats. I do everything for the game. So when I don't do something for a while, my knowledge just gets eaten away by something else. So all of that knowledge of how to export UVs has been replaced with some marketing thing or some programming thing that I've had to do in the last year, or lawyer stuff. As you guys know, I've had a lot of fun adventures with lawyers over the past year. Let's see. I think it's like there should just be a button called Export UV Layout. Image, UV. I'm pretty sure it's in the UV menu. I know it's in here. I know it's in... Yeah, there we go. Export UV layout. So we're gonna give this a name. It's given me this automatic name. Ears, Gabi tail, UV hair curve 3, and more. And it's like, no thanks. We don't want all that. We'll just call this Gabi _ UV. That's a pretty reasonable name. And I'll give it full opacity. And we'll click export. Now we can go to my folder, drag and drop this into the texture. And, oh, I don't really want the white. I want it without the white bits. And it, oh, that's the old UV, okay, I forgot that I had this in here. I've also got the old UV layout from the old model, because I've copied the folders from the old texture. So this is what her UVs used to look like for her old model. And you can see, well, we'll get to that in just a moment. I just want to, we'll compare it in just a second. I just want to export this without the white fill. I'm sure there's a way I can do that. Oh, fill opacity. Okay, I need to turn that to 0 then. I don't know why I thought I'd turn it. I thought it was the opacity of the whole thing. Let's see, Gabi UV. Yep. And let's re-import that. Okay, there we go. Because I like having it where it's just the outlines only. That's what I like. So if I invert that, yeah, there we go. So let's compare the old and new real quick. I don't have the rest of the texture loaded. You can probably guess what everything is. This is the head, and this is a big mistake. This was a big mistake doing the head this way, because what I did with the old model was that I had bits of like texture detail on her cheeks. Like I had a bit of red and some lines. But then I noticed when I put it in the game, her face texture detail was really pixelated. Except you couldn't really tell because she was really small on the screen. But it was really pixelated. And that's because like the texel density on the face was like nothing. Like all of that detail was getting taken up by the rest of the head, which is a bad idea. So I've avoided that problem this time. I don't plan on adding much detail like that, but I've managed to avoid it by making the face huge. So this is just the front of the face. For some reason it looks a little off, doesn't it? It looks a little fuzzy. I wonder why that is. That looks really fuzzy. Okay, well, we can probably fix that. I know there's probably a way to fix that. But I've got all the bits that are kind of important, like the torso. They got the shoulder, the arm. I've got those pretty big. And then this big circle is the eye. And if we look at how we did the old one, the eye is all the way here. So the eye is really pixelated too. Because it like... And I didn't do it symmetric. I didn't do any overlapping UVs for some reason, which was stupid. I really should have. So I had to draw the eye twice. That was so dumb. I don't know why I did that. But we're not gonna, this time we've thought about it a lot more. So let's see if I can re-export this without it being so pixelated. Like, not pixelated, it's like, it's added some kind of anti-aliasing to it, which I don't want. Is there any settings? I don't think so. I was hoping there'd be some kind of setting. Maybe it's a Photoshop thing, I don't know. Because it should not be that pixelated. Yeah, when I import it just straight up, and here it's fine. Okay, I have an idea, I'm gonna change the image. Oh, because the image is huge. We don't need a 4K texture. 1K will be fine. Could probably even go half, but I'm gonna do 1K because the magic about this technique, and this is, so this, I was really excited to do this stream because all of the painstaking work I showed last time is going to pay off now. Like, this is the payoff moment. This is where all my crazy ramblings about KFC and lining them up into squares is going to finally make sense. Because it sounds very abstract up until this point, but it's going to make sense. So, is that the okay, so now we've got, I'm going to re-import the UV again. Okay, that's, yeah, that way it's pixel perfect. Because it needs to be pixel perfect for this to work. So that's the layout. I'm gonna add that to my overlays folder. And now we're gonna start adding some we're gonna start with just colors. Now, one thing I'm really curious about is how close to the, because I've been doing my best to, like, with the model and proportions to make it look anime, but we haven't had any color yet. And I think the color is, I have a good feeling about the color. I'm hoping that it kind of, it'll let us more easily see what's wrong with things, if any, because it's a bit hard to picture when it's just this blank texture. Wait a minute, there's something I was wanting to do. So this is my UV. I want to import, because what I'm going to do, just to test stuff out, because this is how I tend to work. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to assign the texture to Gabi's material using the Photoshop file. Now, that isn't something you should do when you're finished. It should be exported as like a PNG. But because we're still working on it, I'm just going to use the Photoshop file to, like, look at how it looks in the model. So to do that, I need to go into my materials, and I've assigned every material to just be one thing. So there is a material I'm supposed to use. It's called, it's got the cell shader on it. So I'll assign the material thusly. I think that's meant to be. And I'll turn on the outline while we're here. But I haven't got these all combined yet, and I'm going to do that at the end, because I remember there was some reason why I left it that way, but the reason escapes me at the moment. So let's go and just make sure it's all assigned to the Gabi material. And the Gabi material should just be this gray cell shaded material, and we're just going to replace the color. Now, the shadows and all that will not be the right color yet, even when we start adding stuff. But we just want to look at the basic color. That's it. Actually, we might be able to get the shadows the right color just approximately, because the shadows color is also controlled by a texture. So at the moment, it's just all gray. So now when I import it, it's going to look all black when I import the texture. But then when we start adding color, you'll see it update live. So we're going to change... We should be able to just open image. And I'm just going to select Gabi.psd. And, oh, it's going to be white. Oh, it's going to have the UV layout on it. Cool. All right. So that's how it's looking. I could probably turn off wireframe. And this is the texture. So you can actually see all the UVs and everything. It's the wireframe is now part of the texture, which is pretty cool. So this is going to be how we start. And I've also just noticed that... Oh, okay, those aren't touching. All right, that's fine. Well, that's something I can fix later. So I could probably... Should I keep the UV window? I think I'll keep the UV window open, but I'll maximize this so that we can kind of... I'll alt-tab back and forth between everything every so often to see how we go. But for the moment, let's start adding some colors in. So I'm going to need her color palette first. And the colors I'm going to be using are gonna be from this. So I don't know how well that's lit, but I'm gonna be opening one of these files, like this one, and we're gonna be color picking from it. And you can get your own color reference like this, link down below, by the way, projectfeline.com. Pretty cool, you get your own stickers. So if you wanna steal my color palette, you can. I really wish the eyedrop tool I could like put it up here and then it scans it, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to open it digitally. So give me a moment. I need to find where I put her colors. I think there should be a folder somewhere that has her drawings in it. So there she is. I'll open this on another thing and just have this open on the side here. Well, what we could do, we could save this as the texture and see what it does. And if I think there should be a button called like refresh, I think. So if I open Gabi.psd, I think there's a button called refresh. I thought there was, maybe there isn't. Image. Oh, reload. There we go. So that's how that looks. Look, you can see her face there. That's pretty funny. So we got the colors there, but no, oh, actually the leg kind of lines up a little bit. That's pretty funny. All right, let's get real. So we'll get rid of that. I just need to use the colors. We'll start with the shirt, and I'm gonna show you something pretty magical. Because you might be looking at this and you're probably thinking, well, how is he gonna? He doesn't have the costume modeled in. How is he gonna do it? And I'll show you. I'll show you how this is gonna work. So I wasn't sure exactly how I was gonna do this, but I think I'm just gonna use just rastered layers probably. Don't need anything too fancy. And I'll use color overlays. So we're just gonna mark that section out and we'll call this shirt. And then I'm just gonna use, this was handy last time, so I'm gonna do it again this time. I'm gonna use the color overlay and then just color pick from that. And the reason I'm not just putting in the flat color and I'm using a color overlay is that way, if the colors need to be changed later, I can just change the color overlay and bing bong, it's done. So that came in real handy last time because I ended up changing her color palette. And if I wanted to do something like skins, this would be really handy. So let's give that a save and I'll show you the magic of how that'll go. So if I then reload this again, whoa, look at that. So how is it that she has clothes, but she doesn't have clothes? And that's because I rearranged the topology in UV islands in such a specific way that they followed the way her clothes would go. This is how the Arc System Works models do it, and this is actually like a pretty smart solution to a few of the problems I had with my older model. Because in Gabi's old model, her singlet would clip into her skin. And I figured, well, that can't happen if the singlet is the skin, so that won't happen now. In fact, let's look at how that texture looks when I start moving the character around. So with the rig, I haven't finished the rig yet. I still got a bit to do, but I did fix a lot of the problems from last week, so her shoulders are fixed now. I know we kind of ended it on a bad note last time where I had completely broken her shoulders. They're fixed now, thank goodness. So yeah, I think the first few days, like last week after the stream, I think I literally just spent on like fixing the bones so that they wouldn't break. So now she can like raise her arms up and stretch them. Like what's a really contorted pose we could put these in, and the singlet will not clip into her skin no matter what I do. So if I like hyper extended it forwards like that, as far as I could reasonably go as a shoulder would move, like that. Check that out. So we might need to, and this is all automatic by the way, so I haven't actually manually adjusted any of these weights. So I might make it so that there's a bit more pinching here because that does look a little off with it coming out that much. But luckily, considering it's automatic weights only, it's not bad. It's pretty good. And then if I wanted to sort of have her arm in a more relaxed pose, like this, because I've been playing around and testing these out as I go, just to see if it looks off or not. So if I have her arm in like an idle kind of resting pose, that's how that'll look. So, and there's no clipping, so that's pretty cool. And it's really sharp. So that's kind of a neat bonus as well, because you might also be noticing, because one of the apprehensions I would normally have about using textures to make clothes is that when you have like the part where the clothes end and the skin begins, it's like, well, how do you make that not pixelated? And well, that's thankfully the Guilty Gear method has thought of that, which is why I've been following it, because you can see that the edges are perfectly sharp. Exact, like pixel perfect sharp. And that takes just painstaking UV mapping to get that, but we've got it, so that's pretty cool. So let's finish adding in the rest of the... So yeah, that's why the UV is stretched and contorted so weirdly. So I remember some people looking at this last stream going like, why is there so much warping and stuff? This is why. This is what it lets you do. Lets you do stuff like this. Now, I will disclaim again, because I have to say this every stream, that this is like not the normal way you do it. This is only for this art style, for this specific version of this art style. Don't try and do this for like a realistic model. It's not going to work. This is like breaking a lot of rules, but it works for me, so I'm doing it. Now, let's get to the rest of these colors. Well, is there anything else? Yeah, there is more that uses this color, so we'll put those on the same layer. I believe this is her hips. And here's the cool thing, because I've spent the time to like carefully UV map this, I actually know where everything is from memory. So I know exactly what I know what this is her hips. I can look at any part of this texture and know exactly what it is. So that's pretty handy, because it saves me having to like go, oh, what bit's this, what bit's that, and like go back and forth constantly. So that's pretty nice, because her old texture, my god, that was a pain. So I'm gonna fill that as well, and I think her leg is also gonna be part of that undersuit. So I'll also fill that. And if we save that and have a look at it, check that out. Pretty cool. So the only issue at the moment, and this is something that I've solved before, and that's that sometimes you'll get these, you'll get like, I think this is just part of the UV overlay, actually. I might have actually fixed it. I think I just need to turn off, the overlay. And that's why it looks washed out. But if I reload this again, okay. So there is a bit of a seam, and I remember there's a way to fix this. I think it's just, it's a filtering setting. So that isn't actually on the texture. It's just something with the way that the material's filtering it. I just got to remember there is a way to fix that, and I might as well do that now before I forget. It might be in the shader editor. I just got to like change the filtering mode, I think, something like that. I don't know. It's been a while though, so I could be wrong. So let's gotta find where's the material? Oh, here we go. So I think I just need to change, oh, maybe it is already on the right setting. Repeat, extend, clip. I think, oh no, it is, I think it's this. I think. Yeah, there we go. Now, oh, okay, now the seam is a different color. Okay, no, there is a way. There is a way. Extend, that's it. I knew I'd remember. Where's the other texture? There we go. Extend. Okay, now it's gone. Cool. So that's just a weird filtering setting. I'm not sure why, there's probably a reason to use that setting, but we want it to be no seams. So that's pretty, actually the shadows aren't so bad. Shadows, I thought the shadows would look off, but they're actually not terrible. All right, let's move on to the rest. We fit Gabi, hell yeah. extending the color beyond the boundary. I think I know what you mean. I used to have to do that, but because I've carefully UV mapped this, I won't need to. That you won't. I know that you normally need to do that for like textures, but if you just have the filtering mode set right, you don't really need to have as much bleed with this technique. That doesn't work for most things, but it'll work for this because it's very meticulously positioned. Let's see. I think this. I gotta think. What do I want to do next? There's so many choices. I am a little worried. Oh no, I know what this is. Her teeth. We'll do that. We'll do that because I do have her mouth in this picture, so we can color pick from that. It's just a bit hard to make out because of the thickness of the UV. I think if I open, it's a little dense, but I know that there is a line it has to be at for it to work. So if I just zoom in, so this is how it looks on the texture. Yeah, so it's a bit easier to see when I can zoom in like this. So it looks like one of these is her teeth and the other is her gums. Okay, I think I know which is which. So I think the top row here is like her teeth. No, that's her gums. So we'll make it the color of her tongue. And we'll use the color overlay. Actually, we won't do color overlay for this bit because we're never going to change this color. We're just going to do it all on one layer. And then I think this one is the back of her mouth. So we'll make that like a dark version of this. And then I think we'll leave these white because those are her teeth, and then this is her tongue. See how that looks. So this will be a bit harder to see because this is all inside. If I reload. Kablam. Alright, let's have a look. Let's open up, Gabi. Open wide. We gotta see how your dentures are going. Alright, well you can see it's got some color. Her tongue is the right color. Her teeth are... Ooh, there's a little... It's really... I'm sorry, it's really hard to see. Let me turn off the outline. Or I might be able to mask it. Or I'll turn off the mirror modifier so we can... There we go. Actually, that's pretty good. There's just a little bit of like bleed on the bottom part of her mouth. Like the bottom of her mouth. Like there's one pixel that's just like not right. So let's have a look at what's going on. Okay, it's literally just that. That's literally it. Alright, I can fix that, no problem. So let's... Oh! Well, this is a lot more fun than the actual UV bit. I'm actually enjoying myself today. And then we'll image reload. There we go. Okay, that's fixed now. Epic. So the shading is still going to look a little off, I reckon. But that's okay. Because it's just the shadow color is a little off, but we can control that with the texture. But if we turn off shadows, we haven't turned them off completely, but yeah, that looks about right. It's just a little, I don't know why there's like a little bit of like gradient there. That's a little irritating. I'm sure I can, oh no, I know what it is. I just got to shrink these by a pixel. So here's the cool thing too. If I do end up with issues where it's like something is too close to something else, I can just move the UVs and that saves me having to like redo, but like I can leave the texture alone. So I think I said a few streams ago that this process is going to be a bit back and forth because there's gonna be some things. Yeah, there, we fixed that now. Now there isn't that weird little bit of gradient. Although, there is something... I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me or not, but okay, no, it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. I thought there was like a bit of orange, but it's just because it's selected. And it's like, why is there an orange gradient? But my eyes are just hallucinating. So with this is, we're probably gonna have to do this for the costumes, because I've unwrapped everything kind of approximately of like how I reckon it's gonna go, and I've used my imagination to think about where I'm gonna put texture detail. But because there isn't actually any texture detail, it means that we might have to go in and tweak a few things. So the thing I'm thinking about for later is that when we do the shirt, because she has stripes on it, right? And she's gonna have like bits of detail on this. What I reckon's gonna happen when we get to this is that I'm gonna draw the texture on, and then it might look a little bit off when we look at it in the model. And then what I'll do is I'll leave the texture as it is, and then adjust the UVs to like reduce some warping in certain places. That's sort of how I'm planning to approach it, because I had to do that a lot for the robot. I don't know if you guys remember, that was a while ago. I did that stream where I did the drone robot character. We had to do a bit of that for him as well, except he was a lot easier because he's a robot and not an organic thing. So we're gonna have to likely do a bit of that, just so that I can sort of meet them in the middle. Because I've noticed that's kind of what I've been having to do for a lot of this, and it's been working out pretty all right. Like I'll do, like even for the hair, I modeled it, and then I went back and did some references, and then I went back and changed up the model a bit. Like I kind of started from both ends of the bridge and met in the middle, kind of like how they built the Harbour Bridge. If anyone here knows how the Harbour Bridge in Sydney was built, they didn't just go from one side to the other. They started from the beginning and the end, met it in the middle, and I'm finding that's working for me. So what should I do next? What part? So now we got the mouth. That's so surprising, because the mouth on the old model was such a pain. So that's it. It's just 3 blocks of color, and that's the mouth finished. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think this... these are her fingers and hands, and that's her foot. That's her shoulder. I think the rest of it might just be skin and hair. So we'll do that. We'll do the eyelashes, because that's gonna be fun. So this is her eyelash. So I just need to fill that area in black. And I think that's it. Let's see how that goes. Image reload. Hey, check that out. Yo. So it looks a bit off because it's like very because of the shadows. So this is what I mean when I say that the shadow color might look off. So at the moment, you can kind of see it here where everything in light will look faded and everything in shadow will look the right color, kind of. So that's, just keep that in mind. So that's why the blue looks very faded compared to the texture at the moment. And the black will look like that too. And it's gonna look like that until I do the, it's called the subsurface map. We'll get to that later, because that's, we have to have all the colors first to do that. And that controls the color of the shadows. That's controlled by a different texture with this technique. We'll do an eyebrow there, I guess. Or there is a, okay, so this is the bit where I have to kind of look at the model and look at this. So this is like the part of her eye, I think, where there's like a crease. You can kind of see it there. Except, oh, that's just that's the solidify modifier. But we've got a bit of like a crease where her eyelid is. And it's very pixelated in Photoshop, but it will work. I just gotta like, it just pixelates it a lot when I export the UV layout, but when I look at it like this, I can see where it needs to go. So I need to create a bit of black. Well, we might have to move this around a little, because again, it's like really pixelated it a lot. It's because it's added like a radius to the outlines. So we'll shade that in black. And then we'll reload and see where it puts it. Reload. Image reload. Okay. Okay, so it's a little... We might have to do like a bit of adjusting of the vertices. But you can see, like, that's... Considering that I didn't know where the texture was gonna be, that's pretty alright, I reckon. Because I just freehanded that with the vertices. I just thought, oh yeah, I reckon I'll put something there. So this is sort of... This right here is like a great example of how we use like UV stretch to create these sorts of bits. So you can see we do have a bit of an issue where the so we'll have to move this vertice around to stop it stretching as much. But you can see that it creates this cool... We got to fix up that bottom bit, but it creates like the eyelid, and it just does it with just a strip of black polygons, like black pixels here. Like it's just very like low. So what I'll have to probably do here, for instance, because I want that to taper down. So I'm going to change this and select just one of these vertices, and we're going to split them apart here. And it's going to create this cool effect where it tapers like that. So we can probably like move these up a little actually. So you can see it creates like this taper. The more further back we move it, the more it kind of tapers off. So we just gotta like make sure that that stays a consistent thickness. So now that I've got the actual texture there, I can judge it a lot better now. So what I want is for these to kind of come out there. We might need to make... We might need a bit more... We might need another row of pixels, because basically the thing I've been trying to think about while I've been doing this texture is the texel density, or the amount of like pixels you get to work with, is essentially the amount of line width presets you get. So at the moment we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options of how thick this will be. So if I wanted more options to more control, I'll have to like stretch out these like that and make the black part of the texture thicker so that we get more control, which I might have to do in this case. And this, for instance, because I want that to kind of be heavy, so I can move this over more of the black and make that heavier. And I want that to be more tapered, so I can move some of these around. So I might take some of these off as well, move those down. So yeah, this is kind of where the back and forth, because this is something I probably could not have seen without the texture, so I have to kind of make little adjustments. And yeah, you see how we got that nice tapering now? That's what I mean. And the benefit of this method, because this is from Arc System Works' models, and they did... What games did they do? They did Guilty Gear XR, they did Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I think there's some like Kill la Kill game. I don't know, I don't really know what Kill la Kill is like about, but apparently that's like a 3D, like it's done in 3D, and apparently it looks really good. So if you've heard of that game, then cool, then you know that they did that, and this is how they do their models. And the reason they do it this way with this texture stretching and stuff is that way you can have like textures that are really low quality and you still have this perfect sharpness to them. So you can see that it's, from a distance of here, it's like pretty sharp in terms, and when we start getting to the rest of the body, it'll be a bit more obvious. But it stops this problem that I had with my old model. In fact, just to like drive the point home, I'll open old Gabi up to demonstrate why that's important. And why you don't want it being pixelated. Because I'll show you, we have that area above her eye on her old model. And I'll show you how much worse it looks when I try doing this the normal way with the old UV map. So this was Gabi's old model by comparison. And you can see that I've... you can see it, right? You can see that I've tried to add... you just look at the pixelation. It looks like a PS1 game, you know? Look at that. So that's what we're avoiding, doing it this way. It does look a little odd, looks a bit like witchcraft, but we avoid this. This completely, it's disgusting, I hate it. And we'll look at why is it that way? Well, let's look at the UVs for it, and it'll become clear. So if we go and look at the UVs for that, this is the image, this is what I showed at the, like 20 minutes ago. Because that's the texture, that's the density we get there. Because I did this so badly. I just did auto unwrap for this, and it was a bad idea, because look at how much detail is there for her neck, which is like, we barely use. Like, that's her neck. Like, look how much, we get so much room, but then for the details that are actually important, we get this tiny little bit of pixels here to work with, which is, God, it's stupid. I don't know why I did it like that. I guess I didn't know better back then. I just thought, whatever, I'm on a time crunch, we'll just chuck it like that. But no, no. Because look at what it's done. It's awful. So we're going to avoid that. And also with the cheeks, this is what I was talking about as well at the beginning. So I've tried to add like bits of specular and stuff. It comes out so pixelated because all of that bit is only here. Like that's like 0.01% of the texture. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know why I thought that. Like, God, that's so stupid. I don't know why I did it like that. So look how much sharper this. I know we don't have all the colors in yet, but just getting the eyelash or the eyelid, we can make the lines really tapered and thin without it being pixelated as hell. So that's pretty cool. That's why I really love this method, because this is what I really wanted the whole time. So to continue this, I just need to think. I'm thinking how I've got to just think carefully about how far out I want the eyelids to go. I think I want these there, and then I want to separate these vertices. Because the reason I'm separating these out, I'll show you why. There's a reason. It's just a bit finicky, because you've got to kind of select them one at a time. Okay, so when I do bits like this, where I split them apart, this is what it lets me do. So watch closely there. So if I spread these out, it actually tapers the line. That's what it does. So if I have them connected, it creates this artifact. But if I have them more, yeah, and the more I do it, the worse it gets. But then if I spread them out, it creates that like taper effect here. So that's when I spread two vertices out, because what I'm paying attention to is the bit that's actually going out. So the orange here, that's what's going on. So that bit of the polygon is going over the black. And the reason why the sharpness works is because every bit that is black, like all of the line work like this, is all X, Y aligned. So we can make this texture 64 by 64 pixels and it'll still work, because all of the pixels are aligned perfectly as squares. Like this. You can see the pixels here, actually. You see each pixel? So no matter how big or small you make it, it's going to stay sharp. But the minute you add a diagonal line, it's ruined. It won't work. Like if I try and add a diagonal line, where's my pencil tool? Like that? Oh, why is that not working? Oh, like this? That's what you don't want. You want them X, Y aligned only, and it stays sharp no matter the size. You start doing this diagonal stuff like I did last time. That's a recipe for PS2 graphics. So, yeah, we don't want that. So that's how that works. So for those that are a bit confused about why he's making them out of Minecraft blocks, that's why. It's to avoid this. Anyway. So, how is this looking? I'm not happy with the bottom part. Now, I will say as well, the texture workflow is a little complicated, and I'm not sure how much of that we'll get into today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of line work like this and a bit of color and texture detail. But in the end, the line work will be on a separate texture. There's a reason why, that it'll be on a separate texture. So it does look a bit weird that it's all on the one thing, but that's not going to be it's not always going to be the case. So I'm just thinking, because I want... Okay, I think I figured out what I want. Because I have this bit here that I'm not happy with, and I think what I need to do is move some of this around. Oh, okay, I think I know. Okay, I know what I need to do. This has to come like a bit lower. Turn on the wireframe, because it's at a bit of a sharp angle. Maybe if I move it up like that. Because I don't want this going on, which looks bad. We might need to actually adjust the surrounding. Okay, I think I'll get it right. I just gotta like adjust it. Because we want a little bit of like that sort of sharpness, but we want it to kind of stay consistent. Because we've got this. Okay, I think I know what I want. I want that all here. Yeah, okay, that's what I want. I figured it out. I don't want these bits, because then we get this weird stuff. So I don't want that. Yeah, there we go. See that? Look how sharp. Like, it tapers down into this sharp, like, vectorized point. That's what I want. So I just had to, like, spread some of these out a little bit, move them around, and then it worked. Pretty cool. Now we've got to do the same for because the other side we haven't quite got there yet. Because you could, yeah, it's almost. We just got to like adjust. I think it's which side? It's this top bit here. That's what we need. But it still looks a little off. Can't have it too thick. It's just that little bit at the end. I know I can get that right. I actually kind of like that. Because the thing is as well, it isn't just about what bits fall over the, what vertices here that I've marked in red. It's also the surrounding vertices will influence this too. So if I take this and move this up, I don't know if that's like, yeah, so that'll actually make the line thicker if I reduce the amount of space between these vertices and this. So that's actually not bad. I kind of like that. But I would like it if it was just, yeah, like that. If I go that's too thin. So it's basically like controlling vectored line work in a really roundabout way. But that's essentially what it is. In fact, I think that's... I just don't like that little bit of flick going at the end. But... yeah, so it's just this. This needs to come off. There we go. Okay, I got it. That's... oh no, there's still just a little... there we go. I just needed to move those vertices and now it does what I want. That's brilliant. I could but there's just a little bit of... if I can just get that taper to go perfectly right. Yeah, that's... I like that. That's cool. Cool. So now we've got the eyelid. So the line work bits are probably going to be the most complicated. So I'm not going to go too heavy onto those in this beginning bit. I just wanted to show you how this would work. But I really want to just get the main kind of the main colors. So the last bit of the eye I'll do here is just the bottom eyelid. While we'll just finish off this bit of the eye. So that should be... it should be here. And if we reload this... image, reload. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got the bottom lid. Except, it goes a little... I don't want it going that far. I want it to be a bit shorter. The wrapping? Well, yeah, you gotta remember the wrapping is like... well, it's complicated. There is a talk about the texturing stuff, but that'll take a while to get through. I'm just trying to get my texture finished mainly. So what I'm gonna do... oh. Let's move this. I want to move this up a little. And we'll reload it. Oh, okay, it's a little too thin now. Actually, we could just move the vertices. There we go. I'll turn off the, turn off this. Because this one we can actually fix pretty easy with the verts. So here's, yeah, so here's that little bit there, right? Image, let's reload it to get rid of the, yeah, there we go. Check that out. So I can make it pretty thick there, if I want. I think, I don't remember where the eyes are. Where are the eyes? Okay, I want these both to come up a bit. And I want this to come down. I want that to be up. Because I want that to be the thickest bit. And then it to taper down. Like that. Although I would like if it was a bit thicker though. So what we'll do, we'll add more thickness. Because we can add a bit more room here. Like that. Reload. There we go. And then we just move it. And we can make the eyelid thicker. Or we can also use this bottom row and move that closer. That's a bit more like it. That's what I like. Fact, if I... Okay, that reduces the warping a little. That's nice. See, that's about right. That feels about right for me. And if... I know we can't see the eyes yet. In fact, we'll do something about that. We'll add... Now the eye, I haven't quite worked out this... Because what I wanted to do is make this like a perfect circle, but I ran out of time to work that out. So I'm just going to do something temporary, and I'll work that out later. Because I know that there's probably a way to make it a perfect circle, but I had a lot of stuff to do, so I just kind of did it that way for the moment, just to test it. So I'm just going to add like this ellipse. We'll make it approximately, we'll get her eye color in, and we'll add a... Now this is the bit where this is like one of the rare cases where we actually do use a bit of texture detail, because I've noticed for the eyes, you wouldn't do the vectored, you wouldn't do that vectored line work for the eyes. Because it would look a bit strange, so we're gonna just do it sort of a bit more traditionally for the eye. I would love it if I could change. I know that there is a way to change the. I want them inside. There we go. So I want it like that. Now this is probably gonna make her look like she has a soul. So her model has probably looked really weird up until now because she doesn't have like any life in her eyes at all. So that's gonna change. We're gonna do something about that. Can I? Oh, I do have a dark blue fill. Can I reach that? There's that bit of dark blue fill that I want to get. There we go. Now this isn't gonna be perfect, but it'll be close. And we might not need an outline for this one. All right. So this is just a temporary test, just to see how it looks. Image reload. There we go. Okay, our pupils are a bit big. That's still okay. When I get that right, it'll look good. It doesn't quite look like her yet though, so we got to make this smaller and the outline thicker, because I like having really thick outlines for the eyes. So if I go image reload, there we go. That's more like it. And then when we add like, well, yeah, let's do that. Let's add a bit of specular to it while we're here, and it'll start looking a lot like her. Because I noticed that when you add the specular in, it kind of changes the game. So we'll just add like a bit of white. I'm just using the ellipse tool because it's the easiest. And some people will put, I think I put outlines on my specular, so I'll do that on, I've done that on the drawing, so I'll do it here too. And I've noticed, I think Arc will sometimes do this too. So if I'll make that like something like that. And I'll move this like a bit closer to the edge. See how that looks. We'll add like a smaller one off to that side. And then we'll try and do some kind of... This is very rough, but some kind of shadow there would be nice. And what I'll do to get the outline to work, I'm just going to do a quick... I'm just doing it real quick for the moment. I'm going to make a separate layer for the outline and just put that over the top like this. Oh wait, we got two ones with outlines on them, I think. Wait, what's this? Oh, okay, there's a few duplicate. Okay, I must have made an extra duplicate somewhere without knowing. Okay, no, that's fine. Oh. There we go. And then we just turn these on, save, reload. And it's gonna look a bit washed out still because of the... But yeah, look at that. So I might have to move... I'll have to rotate the specular a bit so it's not clipping into her eye, into the top of her thing. So I'll take this and this, we'll just rotate it. Like that. Image, reload. There we go, that's much better. So the only problem is that it's symmetrical, but we can fix that pretty easy. All I have to do is... Because I don't want this... I want the eyes to not be mirrored like that. So I'm pretty sure to fix that, I just have to like mirror one of these. So I'll... Oh no, because... Okay, we'll do that later, because this is still using the mirror modifier. So there actually isn't two eyes, it's just the one. It's just being mirrored. So that's something I can fix later, because all I have to do is like apply mirror, which I don't want to do yet because I have to do the rest of this still. But then once we do that, I can then take this side of the eye and then just flip the UVs so that it's like, it's the same from both sides. That's all I need to do there. But look at that, you see how she looks like not as dead now? That's pretty fun. So it still looks like washed out. That's something I said we'll fix later, but at least it's like you can start to get a gist of like, of her, you know, her soul's coming back. But she still looks, you know, white as a ghost. So it looks like she's, you know, a bit sickly, so we'll have to do something about that too. We'll start getting into the skin tone. So let's look at where the UVs are now. I think all I'll have to do here, because that is all, I think one of these, there's a gap for her eyebrow in here somewhere, but I'm just gonna like select all of that. I'm gonna select all the bits that have skin, and luckily I know them from memory. So we got that bit, we got that bit. I think this is her shoulder. So this is like the fun bit, or we just get to color in. And, oh, just put that there. And I think that's her arm. And then some of this will be her hands. So, just want to close that gap. We'll get that going away from that side. And let's see. That is, well, her hand's going to be tricky because she does have gloves. So I might not... well, I'll go over it with another layer, because for the base humanoid, we're going to need like some skin tone there anyway. So I'll put that underneath. Won't hurt us. And then here I'll add... Yeah. So we'll get that going. Make another layer. I should name these. So that is eyelash, mouth. What's layer 4? I'll group these into just an eye layer. This is, I'm gonna have to redo the eye anyway, but that's just a fun little temporary example. I can probably make the UVs a bit neater to reduce the stretch, but that's boring. We'll get to that like some other time. People. I'll just name these so I know which is which. And what is layer 4? Can't seem to, I think it might actually be empty. Okay, layer 4 is empty. We'll get rid of that. Now is a color overlay. I might need to play around a little with the skin tone because I actually have changed it slightly since the last model. Her old model was a lot paler, so I've added a bit more, I don't know what you call it, like, I've added a bit more red to the skin tone. And I'm not sure how well that'll look on the model, so we'll see. But if let me just see if there's anything else. There is, one of these bits is also meant to be skin tone. One of these parts is the ear. I think it's this bit is meant to be skin tone. That's the inside of her ear. So I might as well add it. Let's see how that looks. Reload. Hey, there we go. Hey, I got the ear right. So that's how that's looking. Pretty good. Except, aha, there is a bit here for line work. So I'll make sure I fill that. I think that is just up here. So I'll fill that. Because I do have some line work tricks I have to do there, so I've separated that out from the rest of the arm. But there we go, it's fixed. Okay. And we'll get the hands are going to be interesting because there's a we'll get to that after I do the rest of the color. But I do want to spend some time today on the hands because I've done some tricks there with texturing that it'll be pretty cool. We're gonna add like creases and fingernail lines to it, and I've unwrapped it specifically so that I can do that. But for the meantime, I think it's just her hair and that's it for the colors. Or we could leave her like this. She's Gabi the White, but no, she's not old yet. So, I think I gotta remember where her hair... I think all of her hair is just here, I think. So let me grab all that. All of this is just hair. And her ear is here, I think, too. So, make another layer, call it hair. Color overlay, make it pink, and then was up. There we go. And then I just have to save, image, reload. Oh, now she looks like Gabi. That's pretty cool. Well, how about that? So this is just it with the colors. That's how she's looking. So the lighting is still a bit off, but if you use your imagination and imagine that the colors are a bit less washed out, that's sort of the look. And I gotta say, I'm like, oh man, this looks. I was expecting this to look a lot worse, so I'm pretty happy. Except her eyebrows are missing. I was like, oh, there's something not right. And it's because her eyebrows are gone. Let's do that. Let's add her eyebrows. Her eyebrows are meant to be So, I know this looks like weird, but I've looked at these UV maps so long, I remember exactly where I put her eyebrows. Her eyebrow is here. So I just gotta fill that. Now, there is a bit of a trick with the eyebrows, with the lines. which I haven't worked out yet, but that's gonna be... Maybe we'll do that. Okay, now she's got eyebrows. Hell yeah. On fleek. Yes, queen. Although, let's turn her hair off real quick. Now that I can see her eyebrows, do they come... Are they the right... I think I don't like the shape of them. They're a little... We gotta fix them up a little. There's something a little bit off about it, now that I can see them in color. So I'm just gonna adjust some of these. Hopefully it won't break it. Yeah, it just needs to come forward a bit. And I might maybe move all of this like there. Because I'm just thinking where that should come into contact with. Okay, I like that better. Hell yes. Oh, no, it's with the wireframe. I just want to move that down. Okay, I think that... I like that. It's easier to see that now. I can see it with the texture on it. So there we go. You know, there's like shading artifacting still. We haven't done the normals yet, and we'll probably do that some other time, because that's going to be that's going to be complicated. I'm just going to try and keep it simple today. We should probably think about lines on the eyebrows, because I do have it in a way where you can add like lines, like outlines. And we'll see if I can quickly do that. I'm pretty sure all I have to do... I think this, because that's the eyebrow, I think all I need to do is just like add 2 black strips here. And that should do it. Well, hopefully, we'll see. Image reload. Let's see what it does. Okay, that didn't quite work, did it? Okay. Well, hey, I can just move the UVs. That is an easy fix. There we go. Just move them out a little bit. Except it does get really... We might need to like add a bit of volume to the... Because the thickness isn't really consistent. So maybe I'll move these middle... Yeah, we'll move the middle vertices a little. So now the line work... I still want it to be a little thicker there. So I'll make it so that around there it's like thicker. And yeah, now it's like a bit more consistent. Although... Is that too thin? I think that's alright. I think, no, I do want them a little thicker. So I'll move these over by like 2 pixels so I can add a bit more thickness to them. So I'll just move that over 2, and then I'll move this over 2. And then I want to add just like another row of outline. And reload, because they just look a little too thin. Because if from this distance, okay, it's better. Let's just move these out by a pixel. Okay, I'm liking that a lot more. Yeah, there we go. I might actually move just these top 2. So that's the cool thing, is that when you warp around these middle verts, you can kind of adjust, taper the thickness up and down to your liking, which is cool. You get a lot of control, and that's kind of what it's all about, you know. It's all about artist intent. And I'll add an extra row of pixels. So we're doing pixel art now, I guess. I just gotta see where that is. So after the third one, I just want to add another row of pixels there, just so I can make the thickness kind of consistent. Image reload. Oh, well, ignore the grid, but that's looking a bit more to my liking now. Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right, we could probably leave that alone. I gotta think what do I want to do next? I was thinking between the hair or the hand. I think I want to do the hand. I'm in the mood for the hand. So I've actually done a bit of changes to the hand since last time. Let me just like, yeah, look at the UV grid's going a bit whack. So let me turn that off. So this is how the texture's looking so far, by the way. It's literally just a block of colors. So that's pretty cool. And if I reload this, image reload. There we go. So that's sort of with the eyebrows being on fleek with the eyes and with the eyelids as well. So once we fix the shading colors, I reckon that'll look a lot more like the... Actually, well, let's compare that to the... I do have a drawing of her face that I was using for this model. Let's see how it looks compared to... So that's the head. And that's her 3D model. So let's see if I can line it up. So that's... Oh. So the colors are just a little washed out. But that's sort of like... If I move the lighting around a little... Actually does... I don't think the 2D one has any shadows on it. Yeah, I didn't draw any shadows on that one. So that's how it looks with the drawing versus the model. Which, in my opinion, is a lot closer compared to the old model drawing and what I wanted. And, oh, I forgot to turn on the... Yeah, there we go. So once we get the actual outline... I gotta fix up sort of the outline around the front of the face still, because we don't want any of that going on around the eye. So you'll see a bit of artifacting. But once I clear that up, I reckon it'll look pretty close to the drawing. That's the idea anyway. But yeah, all of that took... Oh, it took all of like the combination of everything I've talked about on the stream up until this point to make it look kind of like that. So yeah, but that's how it's looking at least. So that's cool. I just gotta think about what I want to do. I think, yeah, I wanted to do the hand next. Thanks, who cares anymore? Appreciate the kind word. Those who know versus the... Oh my god, it's literally that, isn't it? I'll make it even spookier. We'll make it like the grayscale. It's like, those who don't know, those who know. God, that's spooky. I think what I actually ended up doing... Now, we'll make it even creepier. Make it even creepier. It's just like her head. Just the skull. I think what I ended up doing on my Discord, because I had a picture of her head being modeled in progress, and everyone wanted that to be the new like skull emoji for the Discord. So the skull emoji in my supporter Discord is now just Gabi's head, just without the materials on it. So I feel proud of that. I made my own. I went through all this work to make my own skull emoji. That was literally it, guys. That was my only goal. I just wanted to make I wanted to make a custom skull emoji. Okay, so let's get to the... Oh, let me think. The ear's bothering me a bit. I reckon we could easily add a bit of line work there. So I want to... We'll do that as a bit of warm-up, because the hand is going to be a bit tricky. There's going to be a lot of weird line work with the hand. So let's warm up with the ear, which is over here. And I think all I have to do... Oh, let me name whatever I added. Eyebrows. It's hair, skin, eyebrows, shirt. And I'll probably make a different folder for like line art. So I'll put all of the line art in this folder. And I'll separate this into its own thing, because this isn't part of the eyelash. It's technically line art. So that's eyelid, eyebrow. So I'm just putting that in its own folder over here. because I'm gonna have to move those to a different texture, or a different part of the texture anyway. But we'll get to that later. I'm trying to remember what... Oh yeah, so the ear. So I'll make another folder, call this ear. And I'm just gonna remember which way this is facing. I think it's just around the outer edge here. I think that's it. So I just gotta do that. I'm trying to stay in the lines. Oh. Alright. Eyelid. No, I want a new layer. Oh no, I've got the new layer already. Alright, cool. So we'll just fill that. And then if I hit save, I think that should do it. Oh, it might put a line down the middle, I think. We'll see. Yeah, it's put one down the middle. I just gotta remember where the middle is. Which side is the middle? Okay, it's the other side. So I'll get rid of that. And it looks like the outline needs to be a lot thick, because you see that there is a line now, but it's really thin. So I'll thicken that up a little. Add a few more pixels. Let's go. Oh, okay, that was the wrong... That wasn't the middle. Where's the middle? Which one's the middle? Oh, it's this side. Oh. Okay, that was silly. That was silly of me. Very silly. So we gotta get rid of this side. I think. Oh, why is there still... What is going on there? Oh, maybe this whole bottom edge is... Okay, no, it's both of those. All right. Okay, no, I was half right. I was half right. Okay. Oh, there we go. Much nicer. Except, there's a bit of a gap. Okay, now I want to thicken that up a little. That's much nicer. In fact, we could, because from further away, you can like still barely see it, so we might need even more. Or, better yet, I just shrink everything else. There we go. Nice thick lines. Because I'm thinking it should be as thick as the outer line. That's what I'm thinking. And I know it looks faded, but when I look at it from there, it's like, it should be, you know. So we'll make that real thick. I just want to be careful not to like not have that bit at the bottom, because if we animate this, you might see that part, and it's like I just want to be careful that I don't mess that up. So I might hide the hair. There we go. So I just want to be able to see what's going on. What part of the... Okay, it looks like it's this part. Okay, so all right. Well, I'll just remove that part. We don't need that. Reload. Okay, and then I can thin that out a little. And I could probably, because I want to add a bit of thickness to some bits. Although I don't know why. Oh, I just got to move that up a pixel and move this a pixel across to get rid of that white line. There we go. Although it does maybe make it a bit thinner. All right, that's probably as good as we'll get. Because then from the side it looks thicker. That's probably a topology problem. But I reckon that's probably fine. All right. So that's all the line work I kind of wanted to do on the ear. And there's still a bit, like, if you see artifacting like this, or if I move at a specific angle and you'll see, like, black inside, that's just the solidify modifier. So what I'm going to do later is I'm going to have, like, a vertex channel that weights all of the vertices with how much outer line work it should have. That's what I did for the last model. I just haven't gotten up to that part yet. So I'm probably going to, like, erase that from the front of the face, from that part of the ear, and maybe a few other areas like the mouth in particular, because it's just going to cause this artifacting. So the trick is you got to remove the outer line from those bits, but then keep it everywhere else. But that we'll get to a bit later. In fact, yeah, because now I'm just sort of like, as I'm looking through the model, there's like bits of it that are exciting me about what I want to add lines to. What we'll do to make it a bit more fun, because I know this bit's going to be pretty easy, this sort of chest area, because I do have the UVs in a way where I can add those, like, what do they call them? Collarbone lines? Or clavicle line? I don't know which one's the right name for it, but you know what I mean. I draw them all the time, and I can add them pretty easy. So I'm going to work my way there, and then we'll go to the hand. Because I remembered UVing this area particularly, and it's like, man, I want to add lines to that, so let's do it. So let's see if I can find where it is on the texture without by just guessing, which I think it's here. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yeah. So that is the right here. That's the collarbone, and then the bit above it I think is the neck. So let's try adding some line work to that. So if I go to call this collarbone, or we'll call the whole thing neck, I suppose, because it's kind of all one UV. It's mostly one UV island. It's one area. I just gotta remember. I think it's just this bit I want in the outline, and then I want a specific side of one of these textures, of one of these islands. Sorry, and I think. Let's have a look at that. See what we get. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got something going. So we've got like the, I didn't have these on the, oh no, I did. I tried having these on my old model, but they're really pixelated, so you can't see them. But we got a bit of that action going now. They're a little, we don't need them going the whole way up though, so I might taper them a little. And it looks like they're pinching a little, so we might fix that. Some Guilty Gear characters have strong collarbones. Yeah, I've looked at some of them. They have, yeah, it's impressive. It's really something. So when I saw that, I was like, well, Gabi's got to have collarbones. She's got to have the best collarbones. Real quick, we'll do a quick comparison on the old. I'll show you what I tried doing last time. It's really, it's quite funny. So the last model, they are there, but I mean, they actually aren't even modeled in. Like the angle is all wrong. Like the chest is at the complete wrong angle, and because of how I UV'd it, they start curving upwards, which like doesn't make sense. Like they shouldn't curve like that, but because of the way I UV'd it, I couldn't not make it curve because the UV island was like that. So, and it's really pixelated too. So it's, yeah, man, it's, and she doesn't have like the lines here, which I really wanted. And it's, oh man, it's pain, actual pain. And yeah, the topology does not help it. So, new Gabi is gonna be she's gonna have actual proper collarbone. She's gonna be actually like legit. It's not gonna be, so yeah, I think I can move that up a bit probably. I don't know what, hold on. There's something I'm not sure about here. Because there's, oh, I think it's one of these vertices I have to move. Because it's, yeah, it's sticking out a bit funny. There we go, that's nicer. Look at that. And then there's a little bit sticking out at the bottom. I want to make sure I avoid that. Oh, there we go. I just need to move that down. Do cats have curved cock? Alright, well, I didn't know that. I did not know that. How would animation affect these lines? I don't think they would... I mean, they would stretch, but they wouldn't do it unexpectedly, I don't think. I've already got it, like, partly rigged, so if we really want to test that out, we can try. I just want to quickly... Actually, I'll move some of her arms around, because I do want to move some of these verts, but it'll be easier to demonstrate if... Yeah, hold on. I'll show you. Because I've also... One of the reasons this model is, like, I'm still kind of in... I was thinking I'd be done with texturing weeks ago. But the reason I'm not is because I've been doing, like, modeling, rigging, and UVing, and texturing kind of all at the same time. So I've already got the rig going here, and I had the rig very early. So if I were to start moving stuff around, it would... I mean, it works. Like, the line work doesn't go all weird. I do know what you mean, though, because I have had problems in the past. This was years ago. I was doing some Game Jam character, and I think I had rigged and animated it, and then I had UV mapped it and textured it afterwards. And for whatever reason, it completely broke. And to this day, I do not know why. But what ended up happening was, because I couldn't fix it in time, we just ended up, like, submitting the game with an untextured character, and that was, like, the end. And I don't know why it happened, but it hasn't happened since. So I don't feel too apprehensive about doing, like... Because the method I was, like, told was the right way, was to, like, you know, you do the textures and UVs and then you rig it or something, but I don't know, like, it's working for me, for doing it all at once. So, is there anything else I can test to see if this will break? I'm just trying to think. Because there aren't a lot of bones here, it's just kind of the shoulders. I do have some poses. Yeah, let's look at... Just to take a little break from the texturing part, I do have pre-made poses that I made a while back, a few weeks ago, to test out things. The rigging, the skinning, remember, this is all still automatic weights, and I haven't actually adjusted any of these yet. So there are going to be some issues with it, and the legs are a little broken, because remember last stream, I had this big problem where the rig broke. I still haven't fixed it for the legs, but the upper body's mostly fine. In terms of the shoulder is fine, the arm bending is mostly fine, and I haven't got bones for the fingers yet, so I'm gonna have to do that eventually. But it's been handy to, like, go in and try and pose things. So yeah, this was like the hoodie Gabi pose, which looks awkward because she isn't wearing the hoodie, but that's some poses I tried out just to get, like, an idea for the... I'll turn the hair back on. She looks a bit... Oh, I don't have the hair parented yet. Ah. I should probably fix that, eh? Yeah, I'll do that real quick. Just so that we can see how the colors will all look with the poses. So real quick, we'll just take a quick detour to answer how this will work with the rig. This is just temporary. I'm not going to combine them all yet, because I want to keep these separate for a deliberate reason. I'm just going to add an armature modifier to the bits of the hair I haven't done yet, and we're just going to weight them 100% to the head. Armature. Humanoid rig. And then, here's my little hack, because I know exactly what bone I want this parented to. And that will be... where's the I want to click on the mesh. Yeah. It's spine 6 is what I want this parented to. And while I'm in this menu, I'm going to select the whole head, because the head isn't all fully... I'm just going to assign it all to spine 6. So now the head shouldn't stretch. Oh, no, it's still stretching weirdly. Okay, well, I don't know why that's happening. I'm sure there's a... I mean, considering it's auto weights, it's just the jaw from the looks of it. Oh, it's because, Okay, there we go. Now the head. Yeah. Again, automatic, so just ignore like the neck being weird. That's something we can just... Oh, in fact, I can probably just do this. This is just very quick and sloppy, but this is something I'm probably going to spend time later doing. But if I assign those to spine 5, the neck shouldn't... Okay, that's a bit better now. And then I will add a vertex group, call it spine 6, and just assign, and then it'll follow. So now she's got the Skrillex cut now, I guess. The shaved sides. And then I have the armature here too. And then we just assign it to 1 bone. Now, later on, I'm going to add bones for all the hair, but that's later. That's work for later, so don't worry about that. All right, so now that kind of follows things, I know the hands are still glitching out. That's because I was changing the orientation and roll of these bones, and I haven't updated the poses yet. So, yeah. So that's what a rig in progress will look like. Oh, look at that. So that's her tucked up into a ball. I think I had a few more of her, like, with her arms crossed. So yeah, the legs will still be a bit glitched out, but in terms of like just the upper body and like not the hands, because yeah, bone roll, man, that's a tough battle dealing with bone roll. But if you look at just the head, I reckon that looks pretty close to the drawing, and I don't see any problems because a lot of the texturing is just kind of flat colors anyway. So if I'm mainly paying attention to like this bit, like the singlet, like where the what do you call them? Where the singlet straps are, and I don't see any weird warping, so it seems fine. That's like, yeah, what I've basically just done is I've looked at Arc System Works models and tried to just, if they do something some way, then I do it that way, and if I don't stray too far off, then it will work, and it's working. So yeah, the only thing I'm just not happy with is this pinching here, but that's part of the model. That isn't a weights issue. That's just how I've modeled it. So I'm going to fix it up in just a minute. But yeah, if I try and like move all this around, I don't know. I don't see any weird texture warping going on, so it looks fine. If there is warping, I mean, it's kind of on purpose, right? With all the lines and stuff. So anyway, I will say, admittedly, I was a little worried that there would be problems like that, but I mean, there isn't. So I'm like, huh, that's lucky. I guess, I don't know. I guess it's just when you like, if you see it done, like I think I would definitely not have as much confidence in doing it that way if I hadn't seen another studio do it. So if I hadn't looked at Arc's models and studied them, I probably would have thought there would have been some weird issue like that. But seeing that they did it that way and it worked, I just thought, well, if it worked for them, surely it'll work as well if I just do it the same way. And sure enough, it did. So that's, yeah. Oh yeah, so let's fix this. Now I'm going to be moving these vertices around, so I might have to change, because what do I want? Let me look at my drawing. Oh, this isn't a great example, because I don't have them all drawn. Because I've drawn this enough times to know how it should look. It shouldn't be pinching there. It should be... I think this should come out like this way more, I think. And it should be coming up from like, well, let me feel, can I feel, what is that? I think that's got a name. I don't know if that's the jugular vein. I don't know. I don't know the names of all of these. But if I feel my neck and where this should be, like where's the bones? I think that's, so mine come there, and then I can feel... Okay, so it doesn't pinch like... Yeah, that's kind of silly. I don't know why I had it modeled like that. So I'm just kind of feeling... I'm feeling my own neck to see what feels natural, and I'm just gonna move it to what I thought felt like the right thing here. So the texture isn't gonna follow exactly yet, and this is where we'll have to like be careful and think. So let's have a look at where that is and see why it's acting weird. So I think it's this part here. So it's just a matter of, oh yeah, let me make sure it snapped to the pixels. There we go. So we just gotta move these around a bit, eh? So I know I don't want these bits over. So I know it's a bit hard to see. There we go. So let's see if we can line these to kind of work the way I want. Because I want those lines to kind of end about there. I want them to taper. Now they get a little too thick here. Yeah, we got a bit of issues there from the looks of it. Maybe this should come up. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, no, this might work better. I rearrange the vertices like that a little bit. Maybe. I need to turn off solidify. There we go. All right. Still a little off. I like the top half. It's just the bottom. I don't like how that's looking. Because it's a little dirty. It looks a little messy there, doesn't it? Alright, maybe I should move this back to where it was. It's just, I think maybe this needs to be straight. Like if I move this, it's this vertice. Oh no, if I put it exactly there, that looks exactly like what I want. Okay, cool. Okay, I just want to taper it a bit more. And I think I want the lines a little bit thicker too. So we'll add some more pixels. But that's looking a lot more like if I feel kind of where my... Oh, no, maybe I did have something right, because there is this kind of... Whatever this is here. There's like a divot here. Where is that on Gabi? Oh, that's... Okay, so that's where that is. So maybe... just a game theory. Maybe these should be coming closer. I think they... Yeah. Yeah, they should be closer like that. Oh... Okay, I gotta pay attention to this one. I think maybe it would help if this... Okay, this side needs to be a bit on the line too. Yeah, there we go. So I need to add a bit of extra line work. I gotta... Or... I don't want to overlap them like that. I'm gonna add another line, because it's because it kind of weirdly cuts off there and it looks a bit off. Ray School says for the inverse hole, you can use a modifier for the vertex. Yeah, so that's what I said I'd do. I did that for the last model. Yeah, so you use like a vertex, vertex painting to like control how thick you want things. Yeah, I went over that. We'll get up to that bit near the end, because that's like the easy bit. Like that's really easy to do once we've got everything. So okay, let me go back to Photoshop. If you haven't already, by the way, I would recommend between these streams, if you want to like understand more of what I'm doing each week, you should watch my video series on the old character model. I know it isn't, like, I can do a lot better now, obviously, but it's a lot of the foundational knowledge was kind of what I explained there, of like a lot. So the inverted hole thing and the texture workflow is all covered there already. They're a little old, but I mean, it's mostly the same. It's just, I've just trying to get better at doing it. But I'd recommend looking at those if you've got nothing else to do throughout the week. It'll probably make a lot of this make more sense. Oh yeah, I wanna... Well, I'll make this whole thing, because I really want to... I want to add, like, lots of thickness. Image reload. Alright, there we go. Now I get some control. Alright, yeah, there we go. Because we need to have that going on both sides a bit. And then I can taper them on both sides, which is nice. Yes, that's much better. Maybe they should go up a bit higher. Like that, yeah. And oh, should I make them go further across? I'm not sure. I forgot what this was doing. What this vertice was for. I think I'll move, oh, not that side, the other side. Oh no, okay, that has to taper there. Because otherwise, oh, actually I like that. I like how that looks. But yeah, I reckon that's pretty good. It looks a lot like her drawings, so I reckon, yeah, now she has an actual, what do you call them? I don't know what those are called, but you know, she's got the lines. She didn't really have them before. So yeah, hopefully this will look a lot better. When you look at it in game, you'll see those little like bits there now. All right, let's move on to the hand. I'm probably after I do the hand, because it's getting to be lunchtime, and I'll probably hop off after I get some work on the hand done. But now that I'm in the gist of it, sorry, I've been very quiet today. I've just been kind of focused. Live streaming game dev, I will say, is not the easiest thing to do, because you got to be very focused and also, I don't know, fun, which is not always easy. So I appreciate you guys just chilling out. It's been more of a chill stream this time. I want to show you something exciting though. Here, I've done something to her hand. Actually, I could probably still do a bit of tweaking to it, but we'll just do the texturing for the moment. I've added knuckles to her hand. I don't know if I might have a picture showing the before and after, but before her hand was completely flat, and it's not the case anymore. I modeled in these knuckles so that when I shade it with the toon shader, it's not easy to see yet, but when I get more stuff going on, it'll, like when because the light's coming from the top, but if I had a light source coming from some other place, you'd see like little bits of shadows. And the shape too, like when I bend it into a fist, I haven't tested this yet because I haven't got the finger bones, but the idea is I've modeled the topology kind of like I did the knees for the knuckles, so that when you bend them like that, you should get, the idea is that you should get these bulges here. And old Gabi's fist didn't have that, and that's why her hands look like gloves. If we look at the topology for a second on her old hands, they are literally, she's got no knuckles, and even like the tendons, like that stuff. So old Gabi doesn't have any of that, and that's why it looks bad. New Gabi, I mean, they're low detail, but if I were to rig her hand, she would have, like, you see them, right? Like, that's what it should have. It might be a bit easier to see in this view. But that's the idea, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of have that in, because then it just makes for a better shape too. And posing that, because hands, I've always been kind of obsessed with hands. A lot of artists hate drawing hands, and I'm the opposite. I hate drawing everything else, and I love drawing hands. I don't know why. No clue why. I just like them. They're kind of the easiest to draw. Feet are the hardest to draw for me. Heads are kind of intermediate. Bodies, intermediate. Hands are the easiest. And I want what I want to do with this model, the reason why I've put a bit of extra effort into the hands, and that's why she's even got little fingernails here too. The reason I've done all that is because I want, when I'm animating this later, I want to make her hands very expressive. So when she's doing poses, because I've noticed, because I've looked at a lot of promo art of like mascot characters from the 2000s over the years, and I've noticed that all of them, or the ones I like at least, will have hands that are like, they kind of make the pose, if that makes sense. So if you look at like a pose of like, I'm trying to think, like Mario, or what's another like trendy 2000s character? I was gonna say Sly Cooper, but I don't remember if he has hands or not. Or Billy, what's his name? Billy Hatcher. That's actually, Billy Hatcher's a great example. I want to bring him up. Because Billy Hatcher has massive hands. Is there like a render that, because it's all cropped, the box art crops it. Okay, I found it. I found the render I'm thinking. It's very low res, but the idea is this, if the character's hands were like not distinctive like this, the pose wouldn't work. So when I'm thinking about what I want to do with my character, I want to have things kind of like that, where I can pose her and make a dynamic pose and have her hand come out like that and have the hand be really expressive. And the thing I've kind of noticed is that to pull that off, the hand has to not look janky like a glove. You have to like put in effort to the hand for that to work. I know this is a bit more cartoony and they can get away with like these sausage fingers here, but if you're looking at like even what was the anime? There was some anime that just popped into my head. That guy with the helmet, purple helmet, this dude. A lot of like these like, you know what I mean, right? Like these poses, like, I don't know, I think they're awesome. Like the way that they have the hands all posed and stuff. So I want to do stuff like that too. But you need good hands. You can't have badly made hands. So that's what we're about to do with the texturing. What I'm going to try and start on at least is that you see how this guy's hand here, he'll have like those folds drawn in. So I've got UV scenes prepared for that so that I can add those in. And he's got the little line here for his fingernail. That is it is off screen. It's behind my webcam. Yeah, that little line. So I've got vertices and edges in place for all of that stuff. So I'm really excited to get into that, because it's like, this is the kind of stuff that I just think it's cool. I love when they have stuff like this. So I couldn't do this with Gabi's old model because her hands were bad. Like I couldn't do it. So I really want to do it this time, because I don't know, it's just a preference. It's like, I'd like to be able to do that. And I feel like that enthusiasm will catch on. I think when people see that, oh, this guy really loved posing the hand, I think you'll be able to tell, I think, because I can see it. I can tell whoever drew that hand had a fun time doing it. And it makes it more attractive as like an image. So I don't know, there's something about it where if there's something that is like drawn, I'm naturally like drawn to, I will like try to do it over the top. I kind of restrained myself a lot in the last model, and I want to go all out. So real quick before I start, because I've just noticed that the hands are a little flat, so I'm going to move the vertices a little, so that they are, you know, the knuckles are a little more flush, because they did look a little, the fingers looked a little too skinny on this part. So we'll just move that up a little, because now that I'm looking at it after sleeping, I can see it now. All right, that's a bit better. Anyway, let's start trying to add some texture detail to this. So luckily, I remember where the hands are. The hands are up here. Now, we're just gonna do lines. There is gonna be like gloves, but I want to just get the lines for her hand creases first, and then we'll do the colored gloves after that, because the lines, that'll be the easy bit to do at the end. That'll be the cherry on top. She will have gloves this time, which is going to be cool, because her old model doesn't. So I'm going to make a new folder. We'll call this hands. Now, the UVs here are really pixelated, and I'm just going off memory of where I put things. I know that this needs to be filled, and I know that this needs to be filled. And I think this part up here needs to be filled too. So let's start with those three. These should be this side. That's what that should be. Image, reload, and we'll... All right, so it's a little off, but we got something going. We might have to adjust the... Oh, it's really hard to see. Can I like change the light so it isn't impossible? Oh, okay, that's a little better. Oh. Okay, so the shadows are gonna get in the way a little. Because I'm trying to use like the scene lighting to like really light this up. Okay, there we go, that's better. And the line is gonna look a little washed out. So, gotta think where I want stuff. So I think the line should taper by that point. And let's have a look, because I might have to move some of these around. So I think I might maybe adjust the texture for this one. Actually, no, I like where that is actually. It's just something about the middle bit here. It's a bit off. Because there's this weird thing going on. I think I might know why. Because that should be tapered by that point. So I think I'll make that line thinner in the texture. And again, I'm going back to the UV islands in Blender because it doesn't pixelate them, and it does in Photoshop. So image, reload. Okay, that's a bit nicer. And I could probably take I could shave off maybe a few more pixels. I might move that over one so it's a bit more balanced. There's just I just don't like what's going on here. I think it's... Oh, yeah, I just gotta... Yeah. It's just the way that the... Just gotta move these vertices around. There we go. That's much nicer. And I might dare say I might move this out slightly. So old Gabi, for reference, she has no detail at all. But new Gabi is gonna have it. I'm not so sure about this, that's huge, that outline. I'm not so sure about this bit at the top. I think maybe not, okay, I've got a bit over, okay, I got a bit overboard with the, I'll take off some pixels. It's a bit much. Okay, that's nicer. I will have to... It does extend a little too far. I'm gonna have to chop off those pixels there. And I'm just gonna... Yeah, so I gotta be able to see, because it's all black now. So I'm gonna invert the UVs to white so I can see a bit easier. Image, reload. There we go. That should probably... yeah, no, I know what it needs. I know what it needs. It needs to go up like this and taper. Image, reload. All right, now it's gonna be a little off. It's a little mismatched. Okay, no, I do need... Okay. Because I just got to get my bearings. I think I know what it needs. So we do need a bit of... I think I shaved off too many pixels. That's probably what it was. So it's just a bit of back and forth. All right. Well, how many... Because I like using an... Okay, there is an odd number. I like having an even number of pixels so that I can kind of get I can pick a point in the middle. So I'll add one more, and then I'll just kind of move the UV islands. All right, so I'll move that there, and then I'll move these both back so that it creates this taper. Except I might need to move all that over a little. Not like that. Okay, we got a bit of a tricky point here. So I might need to... Maybe if I flatten all of that, maybe that'll be easier. No, that's much worse. I can probably work that out. We'll come back to that a little bit. Let's just focus on the rest. We might need more, maybe more detail. Like, we might need to make some of this bigger. Maybe not there. And I think, yeah, these need to be separated. So this is going to be another, when I taper the lines, this is sort of how this will go. So we just take the ends and split them off like that. In fact, I don't actually, which line is that meant to go on? I think I might have them mixed around. Hold on, because I gotta be careful. Because when you select like vertices in Blender, you have to like turn off. There's like a thing you have to turn off for it to be able to select a vertice at a time. Actually, no, I don't think that would have mattered. No, that's fine, because this is the same face. So what I'm trying to do here is get this sort of taper. Yeah, you see? I know it's a little hard to see with the... I'll move this over a little. So there we go. So I'm just tapering it there. Now this bit here is a little tricky because it's at an angle. So that's gonna... Oh, well, if I move it there, it's a little... Actually, that's a bit better. Yeah, no, that'll work. Okay, that's nice. It's just a little, Okay, actually, that's pretty good, actually. I'm liking that. That's perfect. What else is there? There's a bit more. There's all this bit. I'm not sure if this is meant to be... Oh, no, there is, because that's meant to go. Because I'm just looking at my own hand, and I'm looking at where all the lines go. So I've tried to kind of do it similarly to that. And... I think this needs to be thinner. I don't know about this side. Okay, I think that's all right. It's just it's this bit here is a little off. So we'll have to think. I might need to shave off some pixels from this middle bit because these are all combined. These are all merged together into one edge. So if I move these around, and it's a little too, I don't know. It does look a little too thick. So I'll shave off. Oh, no, I thought I did that. Hold on. Okay, I need to shave off one more then. That's really thin then. Okay, that's nicer. So yeah, now there's just this bit here. You can see that we got this little thing here where it's sort of pinching the end. So this is what, again, it's one of those rinse and repeat. Just just pinch the vertices apart and it'll work. And just have them not go over the part of the UV. Just gotta spread them out. And there we go. I've got a tapered edge. Hell yeah. Hopefully, yeah, I'm trying to make sure my cam isn't blocking it too much, but I also need to see the UVs. So, but yeah, hopefully that's kind of making sense though, right? In fact, this is pretty close. I just gotta fix like that bit there, and that's gonna be it for the palm probably. So I gotta think. How do I want that to go? Because if I make it smaller, I make it bigger. Oh, it's this bit. Okay, no, I get what I'm doing now. Yeah. So I need because it's this face that's all covered in pixels. Just gotta think. I think I might want to move it like, oh, I'm not so sure about that actually. Because it's at this weird angle. I don't know if it's a bit hard to see with the it's this face. That's the face. Oh, if I do that, maybe. Okay, but so I've had to split it. Okay, I might be able to do it by splitting things up, which I didn't really want to do. But yeah, maybe I guess it'll work. It'll probably work. So if I just take that edge and move it there, and then just sort of have that going there, that should work. I think. Although, no, I think I see. Do I want it going all the way up? This. Do I want it aligned on that face? I'm not sure. All right. Well, I've got a crease on that side, so yeah. Well, I'll have to like adjust this side bit as well. I need to add more pixels, but I gotta separate these two like that, and we need to add a few more pixels. And that way, so I just gotta have the, because I've noticed when I look at, it's really weird because I can't rotate my hand the right angle, but I do have a bit of a crease on the side. So I'm thinking like, where should the crease end? And I'm gonna end it where mine ends. I reckon that's probably reference enough. I think that's probably another reason why I like modeling hands and drawing hands, is because I've got hands I can look at as reference, and it's like, oh, all right, well, what do my hands look like? And then I'll just copy that. It's really easy to do, but if you want to do like a face or something, it's like, well, I can't look at my face. I can't see my face. I need to see someone else's face, or, you know. But if you're doing hands, you can just kind of, like, I've done this a lot where I'm like drawing and I just have my hand up like that and I'm just looking at it and then I just draw. It's so convenient. So yeah, it's probably why I like it so much. Let's reload that. Okay, now, yeah, this is more what I'm going after. So now I can pinch those lines shut there like that. Pretty poggers. There we go. So now we've got some creases on the hand, on the palm. There's still more. There's more to go still. So I'll quickly try and, I want to see what the next, I think underneath the fingers, because I want to show you something. Oh, wait a minute, before we go, sorry, the one time I look at chat is when we get the adult dating robots coming in. No one wants a girlfriend, bots, go away. How do I get rid of them? You go into ban world, and I haven't had to ban someone in a long time. I don't want to click the add as moderator button. Where's the ban? It's been so long I have forgot where the ban button is. Where's the, did they check? Oh, it's called hide user. Okay, that's not confusing at all. Okay, guys, don't be fooled. Okay, we all know girls don't exist. Don't be fooled by those robots. Do not be fooled. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Stinky Boy gets it. We've got the 3D. We got the 3D models. It's fine. Only, yeah, exactly. Gabi is the only. Yeah, she's the only one that exists, and whether she exists is still up to debate. No one really knows. Isn't that crazy? I actually haven't met Gabi, so I don't know if she's even real. Would you believe that? Gabi could be a troll for all I know. She could be trolling me to making this game. Okay, what was I doing? So I got very distracted. I got worried that we'd be flooded with, my brain is sort of going into panic mode thinking, oh no, are we gonna start having all the hot singles in the area show up in my live chat now? I don't want that, so it's like, it's giving me anxiety. I don't know how to deal with those. I don't know how to deal with hot singles. Terrifies. That's my biggest fear in life. All right. So, what was I saying? Fingers, right. Here's where this, I'll tell you something way cooler than hot singles in your area. texturing Gabi's hand, because check this out. Check this out. I've modeled it in a way, I've UV'd it in a specific way where I only have to texture one finger and it'll do all of them. And if that hasn't trying to think of a funny expression, but I can't think of one. If that doesn't rustle your jimmies, then I don't know what will. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So I just gotta remember which bit's which. Because the trick is, I'm actually not sure if I'm just gotta think where the line's meant to go, because I just gotta be careful that I haven't bent these. Okay, no, I know where it's meant to go. All right, watch this. Watch this. Ignore the singles in your area and pay attention to me. I'm more interesting than them, trust me. Wait, is there any more? Is that just because last time we had one of those, there was like 10 of them. I think it's just the one. Okay, good. Well, yeah, so with the lines, I'm just going to do this to demonstrate it. I'm not sure if I'll keep them in. I think what I should do is make these shadow areas. And that's a bit of a big topic. We might get to that next time. But what I can do with these techniques is I can actually designate areas on the texture that are always in shadow. So the neck, for instance, will always be in shadow. So I can designate the neck in a certain color, and then it'll know to keep it in shadow. I'm thinking I might do that for the creases of the fingers, but I just want to draw the lines there so I know that I can put something there in the first place, because if this doesn't work, then that won't work either. So let's just see about adding lines for the moment. Now the UV island is getting in the way there, but oh, we don't need one there. Oh, don't need one there. Okay, so if I save that, image, reload. Whoa, okay, we need to do a bit of work on it, but you get the idea. Except it does it around the whole finger, so we might have to do some adjusting. Okay, let's think. Let's think. So I think it only needs to go around half the finger. So I just got to figure out which half is the bottom half and which half is the top. I think that's the bottom. This is the top. Okay. So I got to go back and just delete half. Hopefully that shouldn't have any weird stretching. And if so, well, we'll work out something. So I just got to delete one half of it. Image, reload. Okay. Oh. Oh, no. Well, I mean, I guess maybe. No, I don't want lines there. I want lines on the bottom. Okay, so I got to flip around. One of these has been mirrored the wrong way. I got to mirror. I'll mirror this. So the bottom is now on the right. Okay, so I just got to move that over. I had them mirrored the wrong way around. Silly me. So I just gotta move that there. And then, there we go. Now, this, okay, they go up a little too high, but you get the idea. You get what I'm trying to do. So, I just gotta pay attention to where, okay, so it has to stop after that first line of pixels. Okay. Seems reasonable. Or, what if I did this? What if I did this? Hey, that works. Okay, we'll just do that. We'll just do that. That's, yeah. That's kind of what I was going after. So we got these, like, oh, no, it still goes up a little. All right, well, I'll just delete the, I'll taper it and then I'll delete the pixels. Because we don't want it going up like that. But you see what I'm doing. You see what I'm trying to do. Let's change the opacity of the UV island so I can see what I'm doing. So we need to shorten the think it's gotta be like that. There we go. So, we might not end up actually making these lines. We might just designate these as shadowed. And I've noticed with anime, they'll do that sometimes, where if they have a certain detail, they may not ink it in. They may instead just use shadows. They do that a lot with clothes and folds. So if I have a shirt here, which you can get on Patreon, by the way, and if I have if I pinch it and I've got all these folds, you wouldn't ink those. You would use shadows to approximate most of that. So I might do the same thing for the hands here, but I'm going to leave these here just so I know where I would need to put those, because that is exactly the right shape. That's what I want. And if you're thinking, because I know some of you might be saying, oh well, Ray, it's not solid. There's a bit of like this gradient stuff going on. I'm not worried about that because I've looked at the UVs and textures for the Arc characters, and they have the exact same thing. So I'm not too worried about it, and you're going to be seeing it from this distance, so it won't matter. There's probably a way you can maybe fix that, but it's not particularly important, I don't think, because, I mean, hell, the Arc system characters have it, so it's fine. What else? So that's, yeah, now, you might be thinking, well, Ray, you only did that to like 2 points of the texture. How did it do it for all of the fingers? The answer is overlapping UVs. Now, here's a little bit, I'm gonna try and keep this light and not go too technical. But I've heard this, I don't know where I heard this from, but I heard this like criticism of UVs once. I heard someone say, like, they were doing a critique of a 3D model and the UVs overlapped. And they said something stupid. It was something like, oh, well, it was like on the hair, and like the hair was symmetrical. And then the guy was saying, oh, well, the hair UVs overlap. And don't they know that's going to cause performance problems? And you can't, overlapping UVs. Oh, that's cringe. Except that isn't like, I don't know where that came from, because I've only ever heard it from this one dude. I don't know. I actually don't. Hopefully it's not a commonly held view, because it's complete rubbish. You can have overlapping UVs. It's fine. It doesn't have a performance hit on the game or anything. I just have to say that, because the fact that anyone believes that, I just have to say, like, no, that is not how that works. It does not cause a performance issue having overlapping UVs. It will cause issues depending on a few different things. For example, if you wanted to use these UVs to bake light maps or normals, yes, you would have problems, but I'm not doing any of those things, so it doesn't matter for me. And even if that was an issue, you can use, I don't know how to do this in Blender, but I know Unreal does have support for multiple UV channels. So if you wanted to do something where you wanted like everything pink to be in one UV thing, like kind of like what I've done. If you wanted all the one colors to be in one UV island, you could do that. And then you could make a second channel of UVs to do baking with. But because I'm not doing any baking, I literally could not care less about doing that. So I'm not going to. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out, because the fact that I even heard like that as an argument before, I was just like, oh my God, I really hope this is the only person that thinks that, because it's funny. It's really funny. But yeah, no. And when I was a student, I used to be terrified of overlapping UVs as well, for no reason. So yeah, I'm just saying, I just want to make a point of this is what can happen when you know how to use overlapping UVs and you understand the consequences. So yes, there are drawbacks to this method. I can't bake normals. I can't bake light maps, but that's not part of my workflow anyway, so it's okay. So yeah, that's if you meet those sort of criteria, I reckon it's like fine. You don't need to worry about it, and it saves time, so much time. Old Gabi did not have overlapping UVs, and this is why I'm particularly going in on this, because I want to show you the old UV map for a moment. Because oh my goodness, I could have saved myself so much time if I had just overlapped these, because the model, from the head down, the model is perfectly symmetrical, and I went no, because someone said overlapping UVs was bad, so I'm not going to do it. And I paid a steep price for my ignorance, because look at these two leg islands. Those are the exact same leg. It is the exact same. But I textured it twice. And I remember, the memories are all coming back to me now. This is so funny. What I did, because I wanted it to be pixel perfect and symmetrical, but instead of just overlapping the UVs, I drew these like bits here for the bits that are transparent are the line work bits. That's where the line work's coming from. And it's exactly the same on the other leg. And what I did, I copied the lines here and then moved them to be pixel perfect on this leg. Like lining up the vert, like, oh, this pixel here is 1 pixel away from that vert. And it's like that on this one. And I did it like that. That was such a waste of time. Oh my God. I don't know why I did that. It was stupid. So yeah, like, yeah, that's just that's my little story about overlapping UVs. Like even this, you can see, this is the body. This is perfectly symmetrical. It could have been cut in half, mirrored and overlapped, and it would have been fine. But no, for some reason I was terrified of overlapping them for some reason. So yeah, not old me, young me, stupid. Don't do this. This is much nicer. Because look, I textured 1, 2, 3, 4. I textured 8 fingers with 1 UV island. Because it does it to the other side too. And that's just, I know this probably sounds like kind of obvious, but I'm just taking this as an opportunity to roast my younger self. Because I don't know, I feel like I've won a battle with how I used to think about stuff. So yeah, a lot of this is just like too young me. Don't do this. Just overlap them. Just overlap them. It's fine, unless you're baking. But you're not going to be baking, so just do it. So what I'm thrilled about too is that when I get around to doing the rest of this some other time, it's going to be easy because if I'm doing like the armor and the costume, I only have to texture 1 half, and it just does it to the rest. And I know for absolute certain, because I didn't know this before, and another reason I also did it this way is because I thought, oh, well, what if I want her to have a scar on one side? No, like, she doesn't need a scar on one side if it means you have to unwrap it twice. So I'm not going to entertain any of those ideas now, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, what if I did? And it's like, no, stop what-ifing this and that. If it's easier to just do it mirrored, just do it mirrored. It'll save you, because this took, oh my God, I forgot how long this took, but whatever it was embarrassing. So yeah. Anyway, back to the new one, because I do need to finish off the hand. Let's do the top, the fingernails, and then I'll probably, oh, and I need to do the thumb. I forgot to do, the thumb is on its own island because the topology is a little different from the hand. So I'm going to make sure I just add the little creases there, and then we'll do the fingernails, and yep. So yeah, it took a while for me to figure that out, but yeah. And again, a lot of it is not, I don't take this as just general, it applies in all circumstances advice. I'm just saying what I'm criticizing myself here. I'm going after what I used to do and what I would do different, and that's just me. So I know that for different people, if you have baking or whatever, it's going to be different. I'm just talking about my story and what I regret doing. So it's really hard to make out these islands. Okay, so I think the crease needs to go there. So I gotta make a... Okay, so I'll put that there. I don't know how well aligned that'll be, but we'll find out. Okay. Oh. Oh, no, I know what's wrong. I gotta move this. Oh, I gotta move just this to like the middle. It's gotta be here. Well, I might have to move things around a bit, but let's just see how we go. Okay, so this is easy. All I gotta do is there we go. Although it does stick out a bit, doesn't it? Okay, I'm gonna move, because it's a bit coarse. I think what I need to do is... yeah, okay. I'm gonna do something here where I'm going to move this up, move that down, because it's a little rough. And if I want more control, I have to move everything out a bit. So I'm gonna do that. It's still a little off. I'm just gonna move this whole bit across, and I'm gonna move that up so that I can get a bit more control. It's just tricky because of the thumb. The UV island is much bigger because of the thumbnail. Not the video thumbnail, like the actual her thumbnail, Gabi's thumbnail. We'll do that part next once I sort this out. Okay, that's more like it. It does look a little bit too thick though. Okay, I'm liking that, but I reckon we could taper this more. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like that. But I need to then move all this down so it isn't and I need to, yeah, so I need to take a pixel off both sides because it's bleeding into the rest of it a little. Image reload. Now it's not bleeding. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. And I think that's it. Like I only have one crease, so we're just gonna have that. We're just gonna have the one. Now let's do the thumbnail. And here's what we're gonna do. I've thought of this is genius. No one's done this, I guarantee. So what we're gonna do, I've UV mapped this in a specific way so that on the thumbnail here, it's the UV island for this is actually massive, so that I can put a picture of Mr. Beast on it and make it a successful thumbnail. No, I'm just kidding. But we're gonna add lines to these sides. And I've got them set up for that. Oh yeah, so real quick, sorry, I missed this chat message from Kingdom Hakari says you could still use decals for asymmetric textures. Absolutely, that is correct. I'm probably not going to, because Gabi is actually not that asymmetrical. She's pretty, apart from her ear and stuff, she's mostly the same. I was thinking about maybe adding bits, but there's nothing in particular I feel I need to add in terms of these little decals. But yes, you are correct. The Arc System models, what they actually do, I've seen, is that if they do have asymmetrical details and stuff, they'll actually assign it to a different texture that's higher resolution. So that if you have like text, because they do a lot of things where they'll have like text engraved in like bits of the armor for certain characters in cursive writing too, which is like, cursive writing is hard to do on a low quality texture, right? Like you need a lot of room. So they actually make a different mesh, and then they'll like, let's say I wanted to add a tattoo to Gabi's like hand. Like let's say I wanted to add a tattoo of like the Project Feline logo here. They would actually take those polygons and separate them and have them exactly flush with the hand, and then UV and make a different texture and material just for that bit, and have like it take up the full texture, like the UV is the full thing, and then they'll put the logo on it like that. That's what they do, I've noticed. I'm not sure if they've done that for every game. I think in Guilty Gear Xrd they did that, and then for Guilty Gear Strive I think they did something else. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the decals a lot. I kind of just haven't really been paying attention to how they do decals because I don't really plan to for mine. But yeah, that's what they do. And I don't really personally, I don't like that method because I don't know how they do it where it just doesn't clip into the hand, because they have an extra thing of polygons on top of the hand, and I'm like, how does that not Z fight? So I don't know. They probably have a way. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to avoid that because that's going to be a bit of a hassle to figure out, and Gabi doesn't need like tattoos or anything. So if, you know, maybe if I get bored and if I get time, maybe, you know, we can, I don't know, maybe do like Hitman and print like a barcode on the back of her head or something. But I mean, she's got hair, so you won't see it anyway. But, you know, yeah, like, I'm probably not going to do much decal stuff. But if I was going to, I'd probably try that way. Anyway, where was I? Thumbnail. That's it. Thumbnail. So I've got, it's really hard to see, but I've got something in here. that'll do the thumbnail. I just gotta mark this out with pixels. Okay. So, weirdly enough, we be doing some pixel art and it's be kind of fun, not gonna lie. Image reload. Hey, we got him. That actually was perfect first go. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting to get it first go, but there she's got a thumbnail now. Hooray. Now, because it's anime, what I want is I want the lines only. I know that my thumbnail, obviously it has the whole lines, but I only want the lines on the side. I don't want it here. I just want them on the sides only. Because I've noticed with anime, if we... Do I still have that picture of Lelouch open? I'm going to demonstrate this. I don't know which picture it was. With his hand. I like it. I love this pose. It's so cool. It's so like 2000s. It's awesome. But yeah, you look at this, right? You look at his fingers. You'll notice that the lines do not go all the way around his thumb. They only go off to the sides. So that's what we're going to do, and we can do that. So yeah, this is an even better example here. You see his pinky finger. It doesn't actually go the full way around. It's just the sides, only the sides. So we can do that by doing a magic trick. I think we do it by doing this. We just I just deleted one line of pixels, and if I reload it, boom. There we go. We got the same thing. Now, I think it does need a bit of touching up. I'm gonna see if I can make it a little less dirty with the placement of everything. I reckon we could, yeah, it's because they're on the line. If I move this a little, we can make this a little sharper, I reckon. Oh, it might be a bit risky. I mean, it looks all right. It's just the tapering is a little rough. And I'm like, could I improve that? And I'm not sure. I think it's, yeah, it's these two. If I spread these out. Okay, I think I know what I want. I want to take this and move it up, and then this and spread them out. Oh, it's not quite right. Almost. I just want it to, because it has this little thing where it's sticking out there, and I just want to like improve it a little, so it isn't warping too much. It can warp a little. A little's fine. It's just this is a little. Well, actually, is that where I want it to taper? Is there a better? Oh, maybe no. Maybe Oh, okay. I gotta be careful. It's because I know why. I'm thinking if there's a smart way I can get around this. Okay, I figured it out. Yeah, so I guess that that's probably fine. So you'll see, there's still a little, I'll have to move that down a little. But yeah, you see how it's a little, tapering's a little nicer now. That's how it looks like. So when I go and pose a hand, if I wanted to do a pose like this, you would see that little bit of fingernail on the side. For a thumb anyway. We gotta do that for the rest of the fingers still. It's still a little, but I guess it's, I don't know, I'm like fighting between, is it noticeable enough, and should I move on? I'm not sure. I do want to see. Okay, I think I'll leave it alone. That's probably fine. There's this bit. This is the part of the finger. So, and I've packed this even tighter, so this might be a bit more tricky. I might have needed... This is the kind of case where I start thinking maybe I need to make the UV islands bigger for this bit, but we're doing pretty all right. So we'll remain steady. I'm just gonna like block those off. And I'm gonna shade that in. Oh. Yeah, so this one maybe I packed it a little too small, but considering their fingernails, maybe we might be able to get away with it. All right, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Because there is a bit of, okay, so I don't need them on that side. It's good to know. And... okay, I'm just gonna move these. Okay, that's too much. Went a bit too far. But I think these do need to come in a little. And then this can come across. It's just, oh yeah, I can see where I've messed up. I see where this, it's cause this is at an angle. So I see where I kind of made a bit of a mistake there with the UVs. Because now it has this weird jitteriness. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. That is tough. It's because of the angle of this, maybe if I move this down. Really hard to notice, but it's just got it hitches a little bit there. You can see it. It just in that little corner. It's like it bulges out a bit. It's because of the angle of one of these faces. Okay, well if I move that up, that seems to. Okay, that's nicer. So yeah, you just gotta be mindful of how it stretches. That's the thing. And I think this all needs to. I need more space there. All right. Oh, it's just a little. It's just a little. Gotta think what part of the text. I think it's the thumbnail, like the actual bit of the nail. I think that's the. I just need to spread out these vertices. Yeah, so the more I spread those out, actually, yeah, I might just be able to move them there. The middle bit we'll get rid of. But the trick is, the bigger you can make one of these faces, the less yeah, so I might make that all bigger. All right, and then I'm just gonna modify. I'm going to take out the unnecessary. So I don't need it on this side. And I think that's it. Let's save it and try it. Oh, no, we almost got it. There's just... Oh, there we go. Problem solved. Great. Cool. Although the sides are lacking. So we might move that over. And yeah, the texture kind of stops. So I'll have to add a bit more. Give me a minute. Oh, hey Kazma. Sorry, I've been in the focus zone. Speaking of which, I was looking at a friend of mine showed me, because some of my friends will come and watch these sometimes, and it's always funny because they'll be like, Ray, I was there, and then I'm just like looking at my work, and I like don't know that they're there, and they'll say something to me that I said on stream, and I'm like, wait, you were in there? because they don't. Some of them don't even say anything. They just lurk around, and then they tell me that, oh yeah, I was watching you. I'm like, well, you just said hi. But I mean, to be fair, if they did say hi, I probably wouldn't see it. But I was gonna say, one of them was telling me about how, like, I was in the middle. I think I was trying to merge a vert or something, and I forgot where the button was. And I think people were like trying to tell me where the button was, but because I was like so focused, they were like saying, I think it was something like, "Bro, it's too focused. Stop working." And that's like probably the funniest thing I think I've ever had said to me as a game dev is to be told to stop focusing. So that's really funny. Okay. Oh, I think I've gone too... I think that texture's too big. I don't need it to go that far. I think that's fine. Let's save it and try it. Oh, UV... Oh, where's the button? I know the button. No, don't tell me. I know where it is. I've been using this button for the last half hour. Okay. I left the UV thing on. Don't worry. But that's the shape. That's the shape of the nail I want. Although the nails do look kind of skinny now that I'm looking at it. So let me turn that off. Oh. Okay, I'll move that out. Okay, it's fine. Her nails do look a bit thin because I don't know. Everyone's nails kind of different, I guess, but my nails are not that skinny. So I think. Yeah, they look a little too skinny now that I'm looking at it with the material. Cause, or, no. No, I think the issue is, I think I've got the texture is on the wrong part of the finger, I think. I think the line should be here, not on the inside of the nail. Maybe that's where I went wrong. Yeah, I think the line maybe should be there. Oh, but I gotta be careful because that's a bit harder to control. Because I've noticed one thing I've tried to think about as well is what kind of nails Gabi has. Because I've noticed with my friends at least that everyone's fingernails are like kind of differently proportioned. I've noticed that there's kind of two types where there's ones like mine where they're very narrow and long, and then there's ones where they're like really they're like moon crescents, like they're very short. And I don't know. I did spend a bit of time thinking, well, what kind of nails should she have? And I'm just doing them based on mine because it's the most convenient. Because I can just look at them and go, oh yeah. And but even this, it's a bit narrow. And I think part of it might be the model, but I think it's also the line should be on the other. The line should be here, not here. So the question is, because of the way I've UV'd it, can I make it the way I want? That's the real question. I think I'll start by maybe straightening these up. And yeah, so this needs to be straight. Because I'm not sure if that's even... Oh, yeah, because that's tough. That's a tough area to taper. So the taper should be there. Because I'm just going to try and move the UVs around to see if I can get what I want. Because I can't really... It's tough to, like, move the... Because it sticks out like that, so I might not even be able to do that well. Unless... Oh, that's tough. Because you'd want it to like kind of go from here and taper, and it's not... we might need more of the texture there for that to work. Because the idea is you'd want it kind of like that. And you'd need to kind of... Yeah, so you need to stretch it like that so that it tapers. But it's really low res at the moment, as you can see. So if I move this... See, that's kind of... The nails look a little thicker now, right? Like, that's kind of more what I want. Where the line is going around the nail rather than on the nail. It looks a bit sharper too. It's just a little... Yeah, it just needs a bit of touching up. Needs a bit of touch up. I'm gonna see how far I can go without having to like change the whole size. Because if I do change the size of the UV, it's gonna be difficult because I've got everything else positioned exactly where it needs to be. So that's kind of I kind of figured I'd run into an issue like this, so I'm not too panicked about it. It's just kind of, you know, it's whatever, it's part of it. I'm just not happy about this part. Okay, that's no, I liked it better where it was. It is an awkward. I really should have put a try there probably, because I can see why this is acting up. This little bit here. I guess the key is if I can just make the rest of it look not as bad, that should be okay. So that might involve maybe just move. Yeah, like that's it has that little bit there where it's kind of acting weird, but it's just making it not noticeable, I reckon. So if I move, yeah, so if I move it in that order, that's a bit nicer. All right. There's just a little bit of dirt there, which I want to get rid of. Because then that kind of changes the thickness if I do that. Oh well, I guess that'll... okay, maybe I just need another pixel of stuff I can put in there for it to taper the way I want. Because the tapering was, it's not as, I wanted it to be a bit more gradual. Okay, so I'll just add, yeah, I gotta be careful, but I just want to add a little bit of extra, I just gotta be careful. Okay, just that bit. All right, I know where that is. Just an extra line. Bingo. Image reload. No, not replace. Reload. Tactical reload that texture. Oh, okay, that's a little worse. That's a little worse, not gonna lie. I can figure it out. I can do it though. I think yeah, this all needs to move. Oh, but I gotta be careful it doesn't. Oh, that's all right. So yeah, I mean, considering that, like, it's one of the challenges with this method I'm finding is that you kind of need to know where the lines are in advance, but you can't put the lines until you have the UVs. So it's like chicken or the egg kind of situation. And this is the best sort of compromise I've kind of reached, where it's like I just do both of them at once and hope for the best. And it's, I mean, that's all right. I think it's just that then some of her nails, I think this is where I just have to kind of push them to be a bit wider, because that's very skinny. There we go. That's a bit, I'm just looking at my fingers and it's like, yeah, that's a bit nicer. And then same for this one. There we go. I'm liking that. I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna add them, because instead of just eyeballing the scale, I'm gonna use the I'm gonna do scale Y and then 1.2. I'm gonna scale it by 1.2 so it's the same, because these are both copied from the same bit of geometry as well. Oh, scale Y 1.2. There we go. And as for that finger, is that? I mean, that looks. Could be a little thicker. Could be a little thicker. .1. That's all right. I forgot to do these faces. And scale Y 1.2. Is that too much? Oh, that's too much. Now I'll leave those ones alone. And I think maybe this, I think it's just the bottom bit here could be a bit wider. We can do scale Y 1. Like that. Actually, for this finger too. Yeah, because they tape it too much at the bottom there. So I'm liking that more. All right. So now we've got some texture detail on the hands using UV seams. And if I turn on the solidify, that's how it looks. Now the black line work inside. Oh, and I've just noticed there is a crease here where there shouldn't be. So I'll move that. Oh, wait. No, wait a minute. There's just a little, you guys can, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's like a, okay, I think that's all right. All right, fixed it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the line work is still kind of faint, but that's what we'll fix later when we get the actual like shadow maps and stuff going on. And there we've got the fingernails, creases, and the palm as well. So that's how that looks. And now that I look at it, I remember I added seams for knuckles, and I'm not sure, hopefully those won't take too long to add, because that'd be cool if I can just do the whole hand in one sitting. Because I did add these red lines here. That's for like lines like that. That's what I added those for. I just gotta remember where those are on. Oh, those are on this side. Well, yeah, we might as well finish that. I tend to go on a bit on these streams, but I want to sit and like finish just the hand before I go, because I'll feel better. If I don't do it, I will be obsessively thinking about it. So, but yeah, so I reckon after I've done all that, you can probably get a gist though for how this all works, right? Of sort of how this kind of gets put together. I'm just, because I remember there was certain, I put these faces here for a reason, and I can't remember why, but I know that they are deliberately put there to control some line. But we'll get back to those though. I think those might be these bits. But I want to add, in between here, there's meant to be lines, so we'll try and add some and see how we go. Project Feline is just Portal, but no portals and just parkour. Well, that doesn't sound like Portal, buddy. That doesn't sound anything like Portal. That sounds like Project Feline. It's like saying, guys, Portal is just Project Feline, but without parkour and a different mechanic entirely. Hold on, there's some questions here. Oh, thanks, Jiv. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Something Wanderer. Yeah, well, that's how texturing is. At least, this isn't how texturing normally is for stuff, but this is how it is for Gabi. For this technique. Okay, so I've got these bits now, and oh, where have I put the islands? Oh, there we go. So this is like this side is the top of the palm. So all I have to do, I'll make another layer. We'll call this hands top, and the other we'll call hands bottom. And I'll just create some, I don't know how thick they should be, but I'm just gonna guess it. I'm just gonna eyeball it of like what should go where. Thinking with parkour. Hey, that's not a bad tagline. Her getup looks Portal-esque, does it? I actually don't know. Does the Portal have a main character? I thought it was first person. I didn't know they had a... I'm trying to think what characters are in Portal. I know there's like robots in it. Gabi's not a robot though. How far? Okay, I don't want it to come down that far. And I think if I fill those, let's see how we go. Image, UV, oh sorry, image, reload. Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay, I gotta be careful. So these should taper more. That's what I'm noticing. Yeah, so I'm just gonna move each of these so that they taper. You see what I'm doing though, right? That's the cool thing about seams. Lets you do this. Now the seam on the end there looks really off. I wonder what's going on. Oh, it's over here. Oh, I'm missing one. Okay, that's why it looked off. It's like, why is there just the one? So I was missing one. Oh, there we go. Just gotta move those out. Kind of texture filtering. I thought I had already done that. I don't know. I'm not too bothered by it though, because I've the what is it called? The Guilty Gear models I was looking at, I think they had filtering on as well. So I've only looked at it with the filtering on, and my theory is if it looks the same even with filtering, then it'll look the same without it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother trying to find where that is. I just gotta get on with the texturing. I'm sure it won't be a problem. I reckon it's just a matter of like, it'll look a bit sharper maybe, and that's it. So the thing I gotta be careful of is I've got these bits of UVs of where these turn into, when these turn into these bits, and I'm just trying to think of how I want these to go. Okay, I know what I want to do here. All right. So I want these to go here. And then I'm gonna probably move the UVs a bit to taper them a little. I reckon that should do it. UV reload, image reload. Oh. All right, so the thickness doesn't quite line up. That's all right, because I know why. It's because one of these is on an edge and one of them isn't. So if I just go and do that, ooh, I think I might just do it to one side to make it look thinner. Oh, that won't work though, because of this. Yeah, no. Okay, we'll do it on both. Or, better yet, just do that. All right, so looks a little, it's a little bit of artifacting, bit of stuff, but that's all right, because that's something I'll look at later. I'm just trying to get the general, those, like these lines, but it's hard to see in this lighting, but I've got them. When I look at my hand from a certain angle, I can see them. But I want to make, they do look a little long. I do want to make them a bit shorter. So I'm just going to like do this. Okay, now I know which side this should be. And then I'm gonna like taper them there. Oh, wait, no, that's warping too much. Okay, I have another solution. I'll probably just cut the texture off at that point. That'll probably work. Because they don't need, yeah, they don't need to go all the way down, probably. And then I just gotta find where they are for the rest. So it's just kind of like a rinse, repeat. It's just this is acting kind of weird. It's probably because of the size. I mean, there's not really much I can do about that, but oh, maybe. Might be something. we'll look at that again later. That'll probably be... I just want to get the general shape. Like that. So now, I mean, if you look at it from this distance, it's fine. So that's kind of the... sort of getting that sort of... I don't know what you call them. I don't know. I mean, they're knuckles, but it isn't really the knuckles that is being drawn. It's sort of the... I don't know. There's something on top of the knuckles. I don't know what it is. I haven't really looked at the anatomy of the hand too much in terms of, like, the muscles, but I've looked at my hand long enough to know what sort of... where like, you know, bits of shadow, bits of light are. I reckon that's probably fine. Because then because she's going to have a glove over it, so I don't want to go too over the top with the detail, but I reckon that's probably, like, what you'd notice under a glove. I could go in and add, like, more, the lines going more deeper in, but I think that's probably alright, what we've got. And I guess that's kind of, just trying to think. I want to try and add the glove color on the top. I guess we'll try. We'll try doing that. We'll see how it looks. So to get the actual glove part, because what I'm deliberately doing is that I'm not going to model it in, because it's going to be very flush with the hand anyway, and I don't want skidding problems later. So I've just made it, I've modeled where the glove would be into the hand itself, and I'm just going to recolor certain bits of it, and that'll basically do it. And because of the way I've done it, you shouldn't notice any, like, pixelation with the where I put it. So if I then go to here, and this will probably be the last thing I do before I head off because I'm getting real hungry, but I think all I need to do here is find, there's a layer I'm looking for. Call this gloves, and we'll add the color overlay. Just adding a new layer. And then for this, I'm just gonna, like, draw over the whole hand. But I'm gonna make sure I don't go over other bits of the model. And then for this, I'm gonna, like, have it go up to there for the, I'm gonna have, like, a bit on the finger. And a bit on the thumb, actually, because the thumb probably needs to come, I reckon, there. Should probably do it. And then I just fill that. And we'll add the lines a bit after. Because I will need lines for that, but I can... Let's just see if we can get the color in the right spot. And then if I go image reload, bam, there we go. So all I would need to do is figure out how to add just a bit of line. Now, actually no, these come up a bit too high. These need to... I wanted these to come a bit further down. Oh, well, I don't know. Is that all right? No, I think it needs to come down to between this and this edge, I reckon. So, yeah. So let me do that. It needs to come, it comes up a little too high of where I want it. So we'll do it there, and then I'll add another. We should just be able to add just a line of that. And then same here. Is that, oh no, that's that. Okay, no, that's the thumb. I didn't check the thumb. Is the thumb? Oh no, that came down too low as well. All right, so I had it too high for both. So the finger also needs to come down to about there. And let's try that. Alrighty, there we go. And then you can see there's the line work and there's the glove. I think the only issue is that I do want it to come a bit further up the hand. So we can, real quick, I'll make it go up to like there-ish. And I reckon I'll call it, because I'm getting so hungry. So I think the arm, I'm pretty sure, is right here. So I just gotta think where do I want that first ring? I think I'm gonna say the second edge loop of the arm is where I want it to come up. So I'll draw one of these. Now, I'm gonna have to straighten those edges because it is probably gonna look a little warped with how I've UV'd it because I didn't think about the glove. So I'm just gonna have to straighten those edges and that should probably fix it because it might look a little off. Or not, I actually don't know. Might not. So we just add that. Oh, I'll bring it all the way out to the rest. And then we'll add the line. I don't know how thick this will need to be, but I reckon 2 pixels is probably all right. And then, let's have a look. Image reload, and there we go. So yeah, you can see it does kind of, yeah, it doesn't quite line up, right? So that's an easy fix because texture warping is kind of to our benefit when we know how to use it. All I have to do is flatten align Y and have that there. And then there we go, fixed. Now it meets exactly where it does on the other side. And that's Gabi's glove done. And her hand. I think the only thing I want to maybe try some other time, maybe making the fingernails a bit thicker for the lines because they are a bit hard to see. But I reckon that'll probably do us for today. Oh, I gotta stand up. But yeah. So this stream, we got the colors going. We got some UV seam texture detail going on the hands. And I forgot, we also did the neck. I forgot we did that. So we got a bit of the neck going, the hands. I'm going to be working on this more throughout the week. Hopefully, well, I don't want to make any promises because plenty still may go wrong yet. But I'm pretty confident I can get through this now that it's like I've done a bit of it and I know where the seams will go. This actually, I will say, I thought a lot more would go wrong. So better, it's taking quicker than I thought it would. Because yeah, the texture style, man, it's so particular. It's very particular. I also got to remember at some point to model in her nose. And she has a nose, but what Arc does as well is that they actually have a bit of geometry that's it's got a black material on it that they put on the nose, which I don't have yet. But once I do, I mean, because when I do have it, you'll be able to see the nose from all angles. But at the moment, you can only see the nose when I rotate the camera a certain angle. But yeah, you can start to see, now that we've got some colors on it, I know that the shading isn't all done yet, but now that we've got some colors, hopefully you're starting to see kind of the resemblance to the drawing becoming like the gap is closing between the drawing and the model now. Like, could you imagine this in game? Like watching her move. Like, even looking at it like this, to me, it looks like it was one of my orthographic sketches, which is a little terrifying. God, that is terrifying. But yeah, hopefully when it's in game and animated and stuff, and once I've got all the, all the detail and the what else? Well, let's think. What else do I have to do? I've got to fix the rig. Got to do the shadow map and the metallic stuff and the shadow and the subsurface scattering, that kind of stuff. It isn't really subsurface scattering, but that's what they call it. It's like technically it's subsurface scattering, but not really. So I gotta do a texture that controls that and fix the rig and then animate it and then finish adding the rest of the detail with the costume and stuff. So that's gonna be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I have to eat. So I'm gonna eat. Face looks softer. Thanks. That's kind of what I was hoping for, because I guess, yeah, I mean, if we go, I still have this open, so we can, if you want to look at it real quick and compare before I leave, that's sort of her old, like the those who know, those who don't type, so that's like the old face, the new face. I might have to thicken the outlines a little once I imported it in Unreal, so that's why the outlines are a different thickness, but, yeah, imagine once we actually get, because I haven't done the hair specular. I think once I get that in, it'll look a bit more, because this looks a little more detailed because the textures are finished. But oh man, it's you can see it though, right? Like when I look at this, I've looked at this so long now that I think I know exactly what makes it off, and it's like everything. If the proportions of it all are just, then you compare to this. This is sort of what I was hoping to do with the first model, but you see I didn't quite get there. But yeah, and now she, man, that whole upper body, the whole upper body. Look how skinny and scrawny she is. And look, yeah, I can't look at it. It's just, but yeah, so let me turn the shadows back on. If we look at this with a background, this is sort of how it might look in game once, you know, just, it's very approximate. There's no post-processing in here. There's just a sky in the character. But if you look at it from the back, you can fill your imagination to picture what this will be like finished. So that's kind of what I like to do, you know? I'm just looking at it and going, we're getting there. Step at a time. Oh. But yeah, I gotta say, the shadows are definitely acting a lot nicer. Like, they aren't as jittery. So I'm excited for that not to be an issue. But anyway, I said I would eat. I should. I'll have plenty of time to look at this later. So if you want to see where I end up going with this next, be sure to join me next week. I don't know where we'll be up to, because there's going to be a few... there's still things with the armor I have to work out. Maybe we'll be doing that. And then there's rig stuff I have to figure out. All of it's kind of hard, so I don't know. I don't know where we'll be up to, but I'm working as fast and as best as I can, trying to make as little compromises as possible. And this is how it's going so far. So if you want to support development and me doing this, consider checking out these bad boys. Whoa, yeah, that's right. They actually are meant to be upside down. No, I'm kidding. It's meant to be like this. But check out these on the sticker shop link down below. I'd appreciate it so much, because then I can tell my friends that there are people that have the same stickers I do, and that is the thing I really would like to brag about. In the meantime, same time next week, 12 AM UTC, whatever that is for you. And if you're bored in the meantime, check out my video series I did on this character, on the old character model, which is on my channel somewhere. I have like 5 or 6 videos talking about it. So if you want to know more about what I'm doing, that's the video to go to. But in the yeah, so check that out. Check out the stickers. Check out everything else. And wishlist the game too. Make sure you've done that. I know some of you haven't, and that's embarrassing. You really should, because that's the main course. But until next week, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week and everything, and I'll see you when I see you next.